The Wild Wild West.
Hello. Score one for the fellas. Matt, what do you have over there? Is that a special announcement?
Yeah, it's a very special announcement. I'm trying to find the exact exact
verbiage.
thing. What is the exact verbiage? Oh, I think we just have to do we have to just mention the
We're doing a live
on
show.
sale. The thing is on sale.
It's on
dude.
sale right now?
Yeah.
Oh, hell
At
yeah.
the beginning of the episode, which is right now. Perfect.
Nice.
It's on sale. The
At
live event is
Moment
on sale.
House.
Yes.
What is it?
It's a live stream from Moment House.
What is it, though? What is the show?
It's just a live stream. It's a show. It's a special show. It'll be a live podcast.
It's going to be a live podcast.
Streamed on Moment House.
On Moment House.
Filmed in New York City.
It's going to be in New York City.
Yep.
And there's going to be some big special guests.
Yeah, man.
We're working on the guests.
Yep.
Now that we've secured a date today, I think today we'll be able to reach out and ask
The date should be
if we get the guest.
if we get them. We'll get somebody, I'm sure.
We're going to get somebody good.
It was huge.
But
the date is December 14th.
December 14th.
Chelsea Music
Live
Hall.
on Moment House. Is
Chelsea
it Chelsea
Music Hall.
Music Hall?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I believe they're $10.
It's $10.
Tickets.
That'll be fun, dude.
Yeah, I thought when they said pay-per-view, I thought it was going to be like $99. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah,
dude, this
yeah.
is so much pressure. $10, so.
No, $10. When
in
you
there.
see the guests we get,
Yeah,
you're
true.
going to say, I'm glad I spent that $10.
You're going to say, whoa, $10 is going to fly out of your pocket.
I didn't
$10
even-
is going to choose for itself to be like,
Yes.
hey, $10, get back here. I guess I'll watch it.
Yes.
Fuck. I guess I'll check this out. But yeah, that's the future. Streaming stuff is the
Yeah.
future. They figured it out.
Streaming stuff is the future.
Streaming stuff and paying to watch stuff immediately
It's the
is
present. It
it's
certainly
future.
is the present.
Dude,
Everything's streaming.
let's just talk about technology.
I was back at my parents' house this week. It's nothing but cable, dude. It's insane. Geezer's cable, and it is so fucked up. Comcast
terrifying.
Comcast just butt fucks old people.
It's just them speaking into the room. They pay $300 to be like,
Yeah.
put on,
Just
put
for-
on The Sopranos. What episode was that?
And it's just, God damn it! How you work this thing? Just put on HGTV. That's all my mom watches, dude. It's unbelievable. Have I talked about this before? It's insane.
No.
It's just a fucking lady. It's girl. Yes, we have. It's female porn.
Oh, okay.
It's literally a woman coming in and being like, this house is fine, but this is what you need to do. And the husband's like, oh, I don't know, honey. And she's like, this isn't a democracy. We don't talk like that. I
Yeah.
tell you what to do. And then a bunch of dudes build stuff and a woman shows up and is like, good job, guys.
Yeah.
It's just 10 guys sawing cabinets in the front yard.
It's insane.
It's like the team's working hard.
Well, those shows also completely warp people's minds as to like the actual timeline of construction projects.
Yeah.
Because they watch those shows
It's like,
and
we
they're
have
like,
3 days to get the kitchen done. It's like, bro,
it takes like 4 weeks.
it takes 10 years. It never gets done.
And they do houses and they're like, we sunk $100K, we sold it for $500,000. Every
My-
house you see is like, it's worth $900,000. It's like
My
a
friends
bungalow
having
in
trouble with
Arizona.
the contractors, and their house is taking, for real, 2 years. It's been 2 years
Dude,
of just remodeling.
I know somebody who did this recently and they were saying like, you know, we had a contractor and they were like, they can't get anyone to work because of COVID. And I was like, if they were good contractors, they wouldn't believe in that kind of stuff. They
Yeah.
wouldn't get in there.
If they were good with their hands, they would not believe in COVID.
Just the wax buildup from the saws all the time. They'd be like, oh, what?
Yeah, well, you don't want
Right to work.
you don't want a contractor that believes in science.
No, not at all.
You want a contractor that doesn't know anything.
Yeah, it just shows up and it's just like, all right.
But it's kind of right. but also ended up being kind of right, which is, something that as a country we're going to have to walk back and say, sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think there is a thing where if as soon as you hit like 48 ounces of like 7-Eleven coffee, you just get the truth. They
True.
just glimpse the Akashic records every morning and they're like F-350s.
You just listen to Nick Fuentes.
What the hell? I don't think these things are going to be that effective as
Yeah.
they say they are.
After your fourth Sunoco hot dog at 9:30 in the morning, and you're like, the Democratic parties are the actual racists.
Yeah, we can rip that sink out. You want radiant floors? You probably put them in. I mean, it's not a big deal. Radiant floors are the shit.
Yeah.
Heated floors, water pipes flowing through your little floors.
I will
to heat
say
them up.
remodeling houses is very pleasing to the eyes.
It's pleasing to
I
the
do like
eyes.
to see the end product.
Who doesn't?
It is girl TV until the end product, and then that's for everybody.
You go, oh.
I go, ooh, that is nice. I like that.
Well, apparently Spud was telling me the reality of remodels is it actually destroys couples a lot of times.
Of course.
A lot of couples don't
That's
make
the
it
thing.
to the
In the
remodel.
show, it's always a guy that's like, oh, because it's for women, so the woman's always right, and the woman's like, this is what I want with the cabinets. This is this, blah blah blah. In real life, if they were like, no, the new cabinets, that's gonna be the thing she wants is gonna be an extra like $50,000.
Yeah.
Be like, no,
It's a fight.
Like, you never get me anything.
Yeah, dude. It's a fight. It's a fight, and it's also, you know, that's a tough position. That's like Caesar mode for wives too, because then they have like all of a sudden there's just like a team of like
Yeah.
Hispanic immigrants.
Yes.
I'm not even going to say Mexicans. A lot of times the Guatemalans and Brazilians as well.
Yes.
But it's like they get the lure, dude. They're on their Chase Lounge. They just get like a 6-month period. They can just be like, move that there, switch the sink.
Ugh.
Just all fueled by a bank, and then your mortgage goes up by like $500 a month. It's pretty crazy. You can get to be Cleopatra
Yeah.
for like 4 months and be like, what's that
like it.
spot on the wall?
I don't like it.
Call the painters in.
Yeah.
And the one day contract's like, we're done. Fuck you. And you're
Yeah.
like, hey.
I don't think I've ever heard of a single remodeling that the contractor wasn't a dickhead, according to the
Well-
the customer.
Here's the thing. A lot of it all depends. So we had a remodel on our house,
Yeah.
and it was literally, I'm not just saying this, but like they literally banged it out as fast as humanly possible.
Nice.
We had like a looming pregnancy deadline, which is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people put
Well,
unrealistic.
yeah. Weren't you guys
expect-
living in like a?
We were living in an apartment in the hood for like 3 months. Like, yeah.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
My pregnant wife was rolling off an air
Go
mattress.
home. You should stay at your parents.
No, well, we did say that was the escape plan. If it went
Yeah.
too long, but then it would have been newborn baby at the parents' house. Dude, women have
Yeah,
this
but that
nesting
can
thing.
be nice.
That's what I said.
It's nice to have the parents with the newborn.
Yeah, but dude, it's
Fuck
like,
the parent. They hate it, but fuck them.
all right, my parents would have loved it. My mom would have loved it. My dad would have loved it too.
The kids over at my house they're running. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of
As
kids.
my sister tries to bring 4 kids over here,
It's a lot of kids.
and the parents, I can hear them. They complain.
Yeah. Especially if the kids just go and make a big mess and leave.
The kids come in and scream, dude. I was home for 4 days. It sucked. I don't know how anybody's around kids. I can't believe people are around kids constantly. It's just screaming.
Yeah.
And then I don't get to watch my shows. We have
True.
to watch
Oh,
their
they're
shows.
big time TV hogs.
I'm a TV hog, so
They're-
it's a battle. Me
Yeah, but
versus
dude, they won't stop. They won't relent. If you
either
put on,
will I, dude. Me and Anthony go to war, dude.
we're just now introducing Maya to the concept of turns, and it fucks her up so bad. When it's her turn, she's all like happy. And I'm like, no, it's my turn. She's like, and she'll sit there every 2 seconds, like, is it my turn? I'm like, it's not your turn. You have to wait.
She'll learn. All you have to do is take subtle digs at whatever someone's watching. You'll figure out how to ruin someone's turn. My girlfriend knows not to decide what we watch.
We used to do it to my sister with Animal Planet. We would just be like,
Yeah.
but she would just, dude, 2 inches from the TV, hold down. It was her Alamo. She'd be on Animal Planet, feet touching the wall in front of the TV
Yeah,
watching. We're like, what the you watching these guys fucking jerk horses off? Come on. Shut up. Come on.
Yeah.
Trying to watch Beavis and Butthead. This sucks. I'm not afraid of you. You should be. Skip the stress and shop online to snag some of the best deals of the holiday season on premium audio products from Raycon. Their wireless earbuds, headphones, and speakers offer premium sound, comfortable fit, and up to 54 hours of battery life at half the price of other premium audio brands. But plus, Raycon makes it even easy to shop for every Tom, Dick, and sweet baby in your life with holiday gift guides. They make it super. Come on, man, get that out of the shot. I was playing with those. Yeah, so they make it easy for you to shop. I don't know if you know this. They use the internet and you can click a button and buy stuff like all the other places. Try shopping Raycon's holiday bundles Their Best Buds bundle gets you 30% off 2 pairs of everyday earbuds so you and your friend can be gay as hell together. Raycons are sleek and stylish and come in a range of colorways to match anyone's style. The Raycon website even offers buy now, pay later options if you're poor. Verbatim, right now, go to buyraycon.com/drenched and get 20% off site-wide. That's 20% off any Raycon product, which almost never happens because they're greedy. Oh, save even bigger and get 30% off of Raycon's exclusive holiday bundles. That's buyraycon.com/drenched for 20% off your Raycon purchase. Buyraycon.com/drenched. Goodbye. But yeah, dude, it's the remodel stuff can definitely, they can destroy the marriages. And dude, people do a thing where it's like, they'll call a contractor and be like, when you come in like right now, and they're like, no, we have like 9 other clients. We'll put you on our schedule. Like, how long? Like 3 weeks. And but the problem is the contractors
sound like Mr. Marsh.
If they show up like on a dime, like we can start right now. Typically you got to watch that.
Yeah.
Because if a contractor isn't busy, there's a reason usually. It's because either they stink or they're a shyster. So a lot of people will just like get these cuts. These guys will come in low. No, it's typically not the case. Actually,
you gotta watch those terms though. You gotta be careful.
A shyster? No, what does shyster mean? It sounds like a German word. Fuck. Shit.
Dude, I know we're on the contractors, and I'm gonna derail it completely.
Thank you.
I've been listening. Well, if we're going to bring up anti-Semitism, dude, I've been going to sleep to fucking... If you're going to be anti-Semitic, I've been going to sleep
to... You know all those Jewish contractors?
Yeah, working hard in your kitchen.
Jesus might have been the last one. I think they gave it up after Jesus.
For real.
Jesus was the last honest Jewish contractor. Go on.
Dang it, dude.
Why'd you bait me into this? Dude, you're ruining my movement, dude.
Yes, the movement. Oh, you gotta watch Louis Theroux's... I don't know what it's called. It's Louis Theroux on like...
Forbidden America.
Forbidden America about the alt-right.
About like these dudes,
it's so fucking. Those dudes are the biggest fucking dorks on earth. And we were watching the one dude, Nick Fuentes, he's in the news as of late because Trump. He went to him, Kanye, Nick Fuentes, and Milo Yiannopoulos are like hanging out.
Yeah,
which is.
I really do. I think the internet's just starting to like get like something caught inside of whatever like mechanism is just moving it all around. It's starting to get like it's like an old lawnmower that's getting clogged with grass. Like it's just like nonsense. Like they're just like Trump. I didn't know. Now I know who the guy is now that I saw him. Kanye, Trump, Fuentes is just like a completely nonsensical.
Yeah, it is. It's like that South Park episode with Family Guy where it's just manatees. And it's just like, what is this?
He's like, oh my God, guys, Trump yelled at me, said I'd never be president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forget what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Oh, you got to watch it, though. It's very wonderful.
Yeah, it's good. It's very funny watching dudes just go and be like, I'm not racist, I'm kidding. And it's like,
they're throwing up Roman salutes. They call it. They refuse to call it a Nazi salute. Yeah, it's very fun.
When he confronts the one guy.
But Fuentes, he was 18 years old at Charlottesville. He's probably like 20 or 22 now. 22 now.
According to that thing. Yeah.
Oh, in the documentary, he's 22. I think
maybe
that's
23,
old.
24 max.
Yeah. That him saying stuff to a camera, he's going to regret that so much.
Yeah, well, what sucks at 24, you're like still climbing this hill and you can't see anything on the other side. You can't see anything. I'm trying to keep him low.
Do not, Roman.
You can't see anything on the other side. And you're just like, fuck, this is going to be so sick. And he's going to hit his 30s and be able to peak what the rest of his life is going to be. And be like, fuck.
Imagine.
I was a white nationalist on the internet. No.
Imagine if somebody put a camera in your face when you were 22 and was like, how do you feel about the world and politics?
Yeah. I would have been in a house with like a pile of Oxycontin and cocaine and been like, this is how it's really going down. Yeah. I'm selling promethazine because I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, dude, it's a nightmare. We watched him say that one thing.
Yeah.
Of just being like,
the people in the middle, he's like, you're a bit of a fringe, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, well, the people in the middle are fucking it up. Maybe people on the fringe are the ones who are going to save us.
That's when I went, oh, dude, it's 22-year-old brain, dude.
You're going to regret that.
It's 22-year-old brain. It's the most profound thing ever. It's just like, maybe the fringe really is what the media system's broken. It's also funny for these dudes to be like, what is it, white nationalists, the whole thing is like, we're being ousted, we're getting replaced and all this stuff. It's also like, dude, but at the same time, it's like free market capitalism is a way to be. It's like, dude, if a Mexican dude's better at capitalism than you can't all of a sudden become like a weird type of communist.
True.
Then it's like, well, it's tough tomatoes, dude. We got here this tight. And it's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And now that logically plays out where the lads will replace you. The lads.
I don't think
I might start counter protesting.
Oh, yeah. He was mad about the lads.
The lads will replace
True.
us.
Yes.
Yeah. No immigration, none of that. It's like, dude, good luck. Good luck keeping a dude who like can't find food out of here while you're sitting there being like, I don't know how I'm gonna stream today. People are like, people are kind of like reading too much into my stream today. Meanwhile, some dude's starving. He's gonna get in here. And he's gonna take your money, dude. It is what it is.
The guy's family is getting raped. He's gonna work pretty hard to get them out of the situation they're in.
You're sitting there being like, I have a problem with optics. It's like that guy's gonna come right in, just suck your money
I threw a
out.
Roman salute. I have a problem with optics right now. Louis throws at my house in Kentucky, bothering me.
That was very funny though when the dude, when the other guy got like, the gamer guy got attacked. Beardson, man.
Yeah.
He got attacked, or not even attacked. The guy was like, dude, did you chuck up a Nazi salute? He's like, fuck you, man. Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing is like, dude, I'm just dancing on the edge. People don't understand. I'll be honest. I watched that and I was like, dude, do I do that kind of stuff? The whole time I was like, fuck, dude. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We do.
Fuck. I'm
That's what
a
hurts.
fucking loser. That does hurt.
That's what hurts. But they're doing it wrong. We're good at it.
We're masters of our craft.
We're masters at it.
They got greedy. That's the problem.
Also, they're kind of serious.
True.
They're also having America First conferences
Yeah.
where they're on stage and in Mustangs throwing Nazi salutes, which could be the highest form of comedy if they were joking. If they were joking, yes.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, well, I do think
Now, it does come at a cost of maybe destroying America, but...
True. But the problem is, this is the thing that gets me, is they'll get caught. They'll be like dead. Apparently, look like they're serious on a thing, then get busted and be like, fucking around.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, if you're fucking around, luckily I can just be like, dude, I'm just an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm a dumbass.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, it's that was jarring. I saw that and went, shit.
Yeah, maybe being an edgelord's not as cool as we thought it was.
I know.
God damn it.
But again, you know, messing around is fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as what we can't do is just start at an organization. As soon as you start an organization,
Anyway, join the Patreon, subscribe.
But like,
Yes,
don't really.
of course.
No, it is just for
Buy our
yucks.
shirts, pay us, not an
Yeah,
organization.
it is just for yucks.
Yes.
Letting that be known.
I mean,
dude.
we are actual comedians. I like that we're talking ourselves out of. We're not fucking alt-right guys.
Are we white nationalists? Fuck. No, definitely not.
No.
I honestly am, and I'm not just saying this for the optics, dude. I love immigration. I'm pumped on it.
I agree.
I think it's cool. You know,
I'd like to control the border a little. Can't
Well-
just be letting fucking all these guys in, you know?
yeah.
I like to go down there and say, you, yes, you? I might get a job down there. I might get a horse.
On a horse down there?
Yeah. Patrol the border.
Yeah, it's just so funny. It's like, dude, we're going to have immigrants. To be like, well, we can't have infinite immigrants. Like, you're right on that, sir.
Yeah.
It's
Thankfully,
like-
there's not.
Yeah, thankfully that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we do have dudes down there on the ponies being like, hey,
Yeah.
halt. Halt, sir.
Stop. Your journey ends here at the goal line. Damn. How
is a
far'd you
goal-
go? 1,500 miles?
That is a sick goal line stand.
Yeah.
Although I do get excited
They
when
do stuff him at the goal line pretty hard, dude. Some dudes.
I have heard tales of I've talked to immigrants and they tell me they're like tale of getting into America. So I touched the delicious pastry with my
I
foot.
saw that. I knew
My
it was
foot
coming.
busted. I like hearing the tales of how people got into the country. That always does excite
Yeah.
me. I hear about it. I was talking to someone who came in when they were like I think a 17-year-old girl, and I was like, Jesus, that's so
You
scary.
like that story?
No, I don't like it. I was scared, dude. Don't you even dare. Don't you even
What
dare,
did you like
dude.
about the story?
Dude, don't you even dare. Dude, you're ruining the fucking movement. You're ruining the movement,
Damn,
man.
it sucks we can't start over either on this. We have
I
to keep
know.
all the white nationalism shit.
We can talk about whatever else. Oh, dude, the big announcement, dude.
The big announcement's crazy.
That's it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about the
Two big
announcement.
guests. I almost blew it this morning.
What do you mean?
I was in bed. I'm such a fucking dumbass, dude. We have the big announcement to make. It's, you know, it's huge. And I go, all right, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning at like 5:30, get a jump on traffic. And
we had to wait. That's why I will not be in the Patreon. We were supposed to be starting earlier.
I'm so sorry about that.
I have to get on a plane shortly.
So I woke up. I was like, I'm going to be on the
guys.
road at 6 a.m. If I get there an hour early, that's just what I'm going to do. It's not a big deal. And but I'm such a dumbass. I didn't set an alarm clock.
Yeah.
This is truly how incapable of stuff I am. I like all of a sudden at 5:50, I was having a dream about being with my cousins who all do like cool landscaping, hardscaping work. So they were like trying to figure out how to chop down this tree that was grown in a house. And I have this Ryobi pole saw that like for some reason it's in my house and I've used it to chop stuff down. I put a hole in my back door with it, chopping
Nice.
branches down. Every time these dudes were building, they'd be like out there fucking with these branches like, yo, I got a Ryobi pole saw if you guys want to borrow it. So I was like letting everyone in this neighborhood's borrowed my Ryobi pole saw. It's a big
Pretty cool.
point of pleasure of mine.
Yes.
These guys had like shear branches off and they're doing it's just a great thing I have. So in my dream, my cousins were doing this big
Where do you
time
keep
job
it?
in my basement.
Oh, nice.
It disassembles. It goes apart, battery powered. It's fucking
Disassemble your weapon and continue. Gump. Why did you put that weapon together so quickly, Private Gump? Because you told me to.
So I'm in my dream, my cousins are scratching their
Your
heads.
company record.
They're scratching their heads and they're like, what are we going to do? And I was like, guys, I'm going to go get my Ryobi pole saw. I'll be right back. And I'm like, they're going to be so pumped from the Ryobi pole saw. My wife wakes me out of just a blissful dream. And I just wake up and I said, babe. She goes, you got to get up. And I was like, babe, where are you? Where are you, babe? It's dark in this room. I want to touch you. She said, babe, you're late. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I woke up.
You said it's the podcast.
Thank you so much. Literally woke me up from the best dream ever. I was like, what would I do without you, man?
I was out.
I would have slept into like fucking who knows what time.
If you hadn't, I set
I
an
would've got
alarm.
crushed in
I was
traffic.
hitting snooze. I was like, nice, Matt's not here yet.
Oh,
Finally, I
dude.
saw a missed call 10 minutes before. I was like, shit, he's definitely outside for the last 10 minutes.
No, I was barreling up the road. I was on the road at 6A.
I've been staying awake too late at night playing Mount and Blade Bannerlord.
Oh,
I can't
fuck,
stop
that
playing
game
it.
fucking rules.
It's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Yesterday I got done with Set Life, not a big deal. Rapped on a series rap for Shane.
You're done.
Yeah, I'm out.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool though when you're done filming a show. The producer yells, "That's a rap for Shane," and everybody claps in the room.
Really?
There you go, guys. Thank you for having me. It means a lot
keep
to
the
me to
hand
have
down,
me
please.
on here. No, Matt, you used to be all right.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah,
please.
oh yeah.
Please.
I'd get home. I'd be out at work. I'd come home. You'd be watching YouTube. You'd be like, check out Milo Yiannopoulos.
Get the fuck
I'd be
out of
like,
here.
dude.
You're
this
slander-
guy
if you're
sucks.
going to slander me, get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out right now. I got a live stream. Sean, switch your camera. I got a live stream right
There's
now.
definitely a photo of me doing a Roman salute. There's gotta be.
No way.
Sometimes they're funny when you're drunk. And
There's no photo of
Roman
Roman salute.
I don't throw Roman salutes.
A Roman salute.
I better not throw a Roman salute, dude.
Why? I hope nobody does.
Oh man, that was tough to watch.
What?
But there's also the thing where it's like, I don't know. These are all. It's just a. I don't want to get back on the topic, but it's just like, dude, these are dorks. Their internet. They're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
They're a result of society. They're not a.
Yeah.
They're not changing anything. They're just.
Yeah, it's just
It's
people.
a problem.
It's all of everyone's belief systems got blown apart. Now they're like slowly reassembling in a void from it's. I think we're getting inoculated to demagoguery though, in terms of just like guys who can get up there and be like, and your kids, and everyone's like, yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Everyone now like a random dude can just hit the playbook of just like a demagogue.
Yeah.
And just start gaining a follow. It's just like a primal thing that like hits people.
Yeah,
in the
we have
spinal
always
cord.
had that.
What?
That like if a guy gets on a fucking stage and sounds good,
Yeah.
everyone in the room's like, I love that guy.
And if you're pissed, and most people are pissed and like just utterly disillusioned, and the guy starts being like, you know what the problem is, you're gonna start being like, yeah, I could see that, yeah,
Dude.
But you're telling me I'm right and everyone else is wrong. I kind of like the
So-
idea of that. I don't know what about that. That sounds good to me.
I've re-listened to Ghosts of the Ostfront again.
Oh yeah, boy.
Dude, don't let the fucking fringe bros take over.
Yeah,
It's bad news.
Yeah,
It's the worst news ever.
Yeah,
I've
dude.
listened, dude. It's about Russia and Germany in World War II. It's the saddest,
yeah.
it's the worst shit ever.
Yeah,
When the atrocities when the Russians came back are so bad. And then they're like, yeah, this is revenge. You guys did this. And the Germans are like, yeah, we did that.
oh,
It's bad, dude.
they're
like,
just demolishing.
Everyone
each other.
everyone got raped.
Really?
Like indiscriminately. They were like, when we got it, they would get into towns and be like, we're not doing this for sex. We're doing this because we hate you guys.
Jesus.
They'd rape grandmas, kids, everybody.
Both
Terrible.
sides?
Everybody. They're getting everybody.
Yeah.
And they were
Bit of a game of tag.
it was a tag
Oh, man.
that resulted in like, yeah, women being like crucified to barn doors and shit.
Oh,
Then they'd go to the next village and do it again.
yikes.
Lines of dudes. They would rape them to death. This is what I'm going to sleep to.
Rape them
You
to
can't let
death?
the fringe guys win, dude.
No.
Because this is what happens. The
Yeah.
bros, yeah.
Dude, I watched a...
How about that? That's a good part of the podcast.
that is a good part.
Just so you know, in our 80 years ago, women were being raped to death on the Eastern Front.
Hey, Jesus Christ. Then what was like the big actual... Has anyone pointed out the big, like... Is it just financial pressures that drives these countries into war? Or is it just pure, like, a guy being like, this is the problem? Like, how do they act? Have they ever gotten down to how they actually start? Because there's like, if a guy attacks your country, if you're like a little, like a, you know, you take it back to like the year 1000, you're just chilling in a village and dudes start like kicking the walls and you're like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a pretty legitimate
Guys
cause
start
of war.
shaking
Yeah.
your tent.
Yeah, you're like,
You're like,
come on, get the
come
fuck
on.
out of here. That's a pretty legitimate cause of war. But like when it goes, because I know they, like, isn't World War One, don't they not really know why?
Yeah, World War One was pointless.
Yeah, they don't really know why. Then World War II is just what? Like Hitler was just like,
World War Two was a result of World War One.
got you.
I mean, that's how history works.
They said,
everything's a result.
let's run that back.
No, yeah, Germany kind of felt like they got fucked.
I mean, losing a war, I could see feeling
Losing
like
a
that.
war. So
We
then you
got
got
fucked.
millions of dudes coming home. Like that was for nothing.
Oh no.
Everybody found out that was for nothing. And then they
Yeah.
were like, wait, who's at the top? Why would we ever do that?
Yeah.
And then they took over and they were like, all right, let's do that again. And it resulted
We're gonna
in the
do it right
worst.
this time.
Yeah, we're gonna invade Russia.
I mean, it is tempting, I guess, because then the United States kind of came out pretty good on the end of world.
It
Didn't
worked
they?
out for us.
Yeah, didn't it come out pretty good for
Yeah.
the old United States?
Yeah, all of Europe got destroyed. The United States became the financial center of the world
I mean,
power.
That has been dictating who is in charge of the world.
And
pretty
it does
much
make you
forever.
feel good. Every once in a while, it makes me feel good that America is as you know, it's as good as a fucking empire can be, compared to what those dudes were doing 80 years
Yeah.
ago. It was no good, Matt.
It's terrible.
It was literally it's the worst thing of all time.
I mean, Vietnam was pretty bad. Weren't we just burning people's
it's
villages?
not even fucking close. dude.
Really?
No, it was.
What was the worst of Vietnam?
They would lose. Just the Russians would lose more than we lost in Vietnam every day. Every day.
Yeah.
More than we've lost probably in Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, everything combined daily
Oh.
for like 5 years.
So numbers wise, it was worse. But
Numbers wise, it wasn't comparable.
not even close.
Not even comparable.
Jesus.
It was.
What was
yeah.
it, like 20,000 a day?
They would lose guys. Russia and Germany would lose more guys in one battle than the U.S. lost the entire war.
Yikes.
We lost 600,000.
And Russia was on our
Around.
side back then?
Russia was on our side.
Just losing thousands of fucking
Yeah.
dudes. And then why did it all fall apart? Why aren't we boys?
Because the way they were evil.
They were pretty bad.
It was evil versus evil over there.
And we were just
We were like,
Sick for us.
let's let these two kill each other, and then we'll invent rock and roll and destroy the other evil one. We killed them with the power of music.
true.
We did. We hit them with the guitar riffs.
Like, hold on, Elvis, hold it. Shake your hips, shake your hips, Elvis.
Destroy them, Elvis.
Blue jeans, send in the blue jeans.
They had witnessed nothing but horrific atrocities.
Oh.
They were like, blue jeans. Put down our sickles, boys.
Damn,
They
imagine
got
watching
dungarees.
Die Hard after that too.
That's what. Imagine watching
Watching Die Hard after
I thought you
just-
were changing the subject and be like, I was watching Die Hard.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no,
good
no,
call.
no.
Good call.
No, no.
This
Imagine
isn't
just
what we
catching
want.
Die Hard after that. It's like, that's crazy. That's so fake. And they're like, no. see
No,
that?
yeah.
All
What,
the
a building
buildings
exploded.
all the buildings blowing up
Yeah.
into town. I can see that. Jumping out of it. Yeah,
Dude.
it sucks, man. America
Yeah.
got pretty lucky. But
Yes.
now, it's got to be tempting because I always imagine these like leaders of states and societies like are very, very well versed in history and like military history.
I don't
and
think
it's
they
like,
are.
Really?
No.
You don't think so?
I guarantee if you walked up to Joe Biden and was like, what was the Battle of Kursk?
Yeah, I guess so.
Be like, what? Hey, Tony boy, fuck you.
Yeah,
If
maybe
that's Donald
so.
Trump, just be like, Donald Trump, what year was,
Yeah, but don't you
not
think
that's not how you're versed in history, of course.
For sure, but I guess you're right. But I'm thinking of like, there's definitely dudes that have their hands closer to the levers.
I think if
know.
people knew more about history, I think we'd be doing better.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Because the way we're sliding into fucking
Bullshit.
bullshit is a little alarming.
Yeah, it stinks, dude.
Only because if you know what could happen, which is that,
Yeah.
which is you're dead, you're gone, and then all of your mother's sisters, girlfriends, and wives are at home, and 1,000 guys show up and chase them around, and they're laughing. The women are like, kill me.
Yeah.
And the guys are like,
Whoa.
and then they rape them to death.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what,
And
like
stick a baby on a bayonet, smash it.
that was what, 80? You said
80
80 years
yeah.
ago? Not even 100 years ago.
80 years ago.
So there's people still alive.
Yeah, you people listening right now, you probably have a grandpa or grandma she was born then. She was alive during this.
Even being alive like 30 years after that is like enough to feel the
Yeah.
effects.
That's when all of our parents were.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah.
That's why they're so whacked.
That's why they're a little wacky.
Imagine this. You're talking to your friend on FaceTime and you go to change your pants and your penis is harder than it's ever been. You say, excuse me, you don't want your friend to see that. But as you turn around and pull your pants down, your penis goes into frame on the FaceTime and your friend's mom just so happens to come over her shoulder and goes, who are you talking to? And she goes, what the hell? That guy's hard. She's a medical professional. She goes, I've never seen anything like this in my 30 years as a medical professional. She said, what the hell's that guy doing for his penis? And you say, Ma, I think he's been eating heart and soil. And again, I'm not saying it's going to get your penis that hard, but I take them and I'm 36 years old. I'm not supposed to get hard anymore. I'm not even supposed to like girls anymore, but I love girls. Are you ready to feel like a man? Eat some organs. Beef organs are the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. That's why they're called nature's multivitamin. Babe, careful. Heart and Soil is helping people reclaim their birthright to radical health. I just gave a very good personal endorsement. Again, I can't guarantee you to get hard because you might not like girls, and I can't help. They won't make you like girls, but if you like girls, well, or whatever else people like, it might help you. Yo, bro, that's an actual penis, please. We're using the props. People ate organs for thousands of years, never suffered from obesity, heart disease, or infertility because they were eating organs. Nature's most treasured foods, believe it or not. Heart and Soil supplements are made from grass-fed, grass-finished beef organs. Feel like a man when you're taking a supplement. Okay, go ahead. You have my permission. Feel like a man when you take a supplement made from liver, heart, kidney, spleen, and testicles. Let Heart and Soil reclaim your birthright to radical health. Go to heartandsoil.co and use code DRENCH. Why'd you stop? Use code DRENCH 10% to get 10% off your first order. That's heartandsoil.co and use code DRENCH. Fuck, I'm gonna pop. Offer applies to one-time purchases, not subscriptions. Try them and see how you feel. When you've had a long day and you want to unwind like a grown-up who happens to be addicted to nicotine because they didn't listen to their parents when they were younger, grab your favorite Lucy gum or nicotine pouch. Check out all that Lucy has to offer at lucy.co. That's lucy.co. Use promo code DRENCHED at checkout. And if you're a listener from Canada, never heard of it, you can now get Lucy at ca.lucy.co. Warning, this product does contain nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. But if you're interested in a better way to use nicotine, visit lucy.co and use that promo code DRENCHED. Dude, I shouldn't have done this, but I don't know what possessed me to do this. I did a pretty evil thing to my dad. We were talking, and he was like talking about one of his bros, and I don't know, just in the moment, I was like, yeah, as he's talking about it, I'm like, yo, is that guy gay? And he's like, what?
Yeah.
No, what?
You
No.
want to do something bad.
Dude, I was like, why did I do this? He completely was just like, well, no, what the hell? Started, why do you think that? I'm like, I'm just fucking around. I can see him just being like, how the fuck is that funny? I'm like, it's funny.
It is funny.
It's so funny. to catch a dude off guard. Just, dude, I'm telling you, if he's talking about any of his bros, be like, yo, for real, is that guy gay? They'll fucking melt. Be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because they instantly go, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? What's happening to me?
I can't even hit Phil with that anymore.
Yeah,
I've used it.
You've used it all up.
I've used it up so many. Anytime a guy's on TV, I'm like, you like that guy? We'll be watching sports. We'll be like, yeah, he's good. I'm like, you want to kiss him? I'll be like, yeah, Shane. Like, ooh, I'd like to kiss him. Isn't that right? Like,
yeah, my dad doesn't fuck around about that shit.
being gay, yeah, you can't. If you're a man, if you're an old man,
it's not even funny.
don't
dude.
you fucking joke.
It's
about
not
that.
funny,
dude. You want to know gay? I was watching White Lotus. You watch White Lotus?
I watched the first episode.
Bro, end of the last
I didn't
episode
see
is
it.
vicious.
I didn't see it. I mean, dude, you see the first
This is a
season?
classic butt fucking, dude.
Did you see the first?
Classic dude on the end of the bed on his knees.
Bro, the first season, they had a guy getting his ass eaten. Like, graphic.
Yeah, I did see that.
Graphic. And it was like a cliffhanger
Maybe
where it's
I
like
don't
you're
remember
waiting.
that.
I was like, I wonder what's happening.
What
And-
episode was that? Late?
Yeah, it was later
I
on.
didn't see that.
Dude, oh my
I
God.
heard
It's,
Steve Zahn's cock's in it too.
who?
The guy, the dad in it. In the first season, the dad with the girls.
Oh, he makes a return?
Apparently, his penis is in season 1. I didn't see it.
Is it really? I didn't
Yeah.
see it. I don't remember. I must have blacked
Oh
it
yeah,
out.
he's looking for like cancer on his nuts early.
Oh yeah. Now I remember. Yeah, that is currently I think the funniest show out. White Lotus might be the funniest show.
This one's a little. Season 2 is not that funny.
I only saw the first ep.
It's very uncomfortable.
It
It is funny. It is your style of comedy too.
Yeah,
where it's everyone's kind of scheming, fucking up. Yeah,
one of the funnier things, dude.
but it keeps you on edge. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, but the
Everyone's
dude,
fucking each other.
yeah,
Cut it out.
dude, the guy in the first episode in front of the other dude's wife putting a bathing suit on, like showing her his ass, made me laugh very hard.
Wait, did you see in the first? Wait, which
Yeah.
episode of season 2?
Yeah,
The guy's massive cock.
you thought it was huge?
Matt, what do you think when you saw that cock?
I was watching with my wife, dude.
How
And
uncomfortable was that? I was watching with my girlfriend. I
Dude,
said,
so
"Don't."
I heard
like
you guys.
that.
I heard you guys talk about that,
Yeah.
and when we were watching, she was like, "Want to watch White Lotus?" So I was like, "Fine."
Damn it.
I was like waiting because I was like, I knew there was a gigantic hog coming, and I remember Spud being like, "You saw it from behind. You could see it from behind."
You see it from behind, dude.
Yeah, me and my wife just both went silent. We both went silent and passed. Like, thank God. I thought it was a full frontal dong, like up front
You
hammer
didn't address
shot.
it. I addressed it. I gave it a beat. I was like,
I didn't even bring it up.
spoiler for the guest.
Yeah, I didn't even. Oh, yeah. You see this guy. You see the guy
Yeah.
from the Divergent series, penis. That sucks too because that actually is, I believe,
You believe it's his
that's a
cock?
celebrity crush for my wife. She actually does like that dude because he's in like he escaped from like the craziest
That
realm of
handsome, famous actor with a massive cock.
like, yeah, bro. That might be fake, might be prosthetic. That's kind of the angle I'm taking.
Banking on prosthetic.
I'm like, dude, these weird prosthetic dicks are crazy anymore. But I don't know. It probably will. If I should freeze when I go back home, I'm gonna analyze and freeze it and just like match skin tone. Yeah, that was. I mean, but did he work something up? Is the question.
It was still pointing straight down.
Yeah,
I guess when your cock's that big, you can be pretty hard and have it. It's too much weight. Things.
Well, it must be crazy for that. It's just like a hot rich guy. And they're like, "Look, we have the scene. If we need help," he's like, "No, actually, I also have a massive dick." And like, perfect. It's got to be pretty, pretty annoying. He does play. I was complimenting his acting. I was like,
He's Francis, dude.
he's a good actor.
He reminds me of Francis Ellis.
Really?
Yeah, there's parts. The way he talks a little bit. He's
I
like a
feel like-
Harvard guy. Obviously, Francis isn't a scumbag.
No, for sure. Well, if Francis had taken like more martial arts, because I know him more from the Divergent series,
Yeah.
so it's like I know another
What do you
side.
mean
of him.
Francis has martial arts?
If Francis had more martial arts training, that guy has more of like a martial arts edge.
Wait, that guy does martial arts too?
he has to, dude.
Dude, I fucking hate
Did you?
this
Well,
guy.
I'm saying, did you see the Divergent series?
Of course not, Matt.
What?
No.
Number 4? That's his name. He's number 4. Yeah, dude. He plays like
Wait, what is Divergent?
Yeah. Yep,
Dude, you
yep.
watch this shit?
Yeah, I watched all of them with my wife. I watched all of them with my wife.
You
My
need
wife
to- you
fell
need
in
to-
love with him
You
because
need
he's
to
like
take the power from your wife, dude. That guy's penis is in it, and
It's-
it's the star of the show, dude. I'm not
yes.
gonna, no spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, he probably does, but dude,
I'm gonna find a picture of this guy's dick.
you think you're gonna find the pic?
Definitely, that thing's iconic, bro.
It's decent, dude. It's decent. The guy, Yeah. I think my wife is fond of him, and she made it known. And then it was like
I'm fond of him.
she said in the very beginning. I mean, I like his undying allegiance in the Divergent series.
He found his penis. Far out it is, dude.
Gardini found it. That's got a little lift on it. I don't want to slander the man. That's got a little bit of lift. Gardini,
Yeah.
what do you think?
It looks like an udder. You can milk that thing.
That thing's preposterous.
He's lifting
dude.
his leg up pretty high too.
What's this guy's problem?
I mean, for real, they should blur that stuff, dude. We need some decency, dude.
Yeah, there's
home box office.
in this season.
I just feel like nobody's putting America first.
I'm about to go to the American Patriot Conference.
That'll drive me to the.
That guy's dick. You know what? The Jews. I will say this. I watched a funny. There's a Kanye clip from Piers Morgan that made me laugh a lot.
Which one?
He's like, Jewish. And Piers Morgan's like, actually, Kanye, that's quite offensive. And he's like, oh, is it quite offensive? He's like, Jewish. Yes, that guy's cock may drive me to attend CPAC this year.
You might go to CPAC.
I
You'll
might go to
get in.
CPAC.
If I get out, I'm gonna storm off, dude.
If
Be
I
like,
don't go in,
"Fuck
I'm going
this."
to go, fuck this, fuck CPAC. We're starting our own across the street. It's where we're going to be even more CPAC.
Yeah, it is funny though to be like legacy media is dying. We're the new thing. It's just Kanye West on Piers Morgan like Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think people can just take it like people can take a nice sabbatical from information. I think.
I certainly have.
Yeah, it's good.
I've retreated back to World War I and World War II.
It's good. It's
The old
honestly
I'll be back on the Civil War shortly. It's time for me to revert back to the classics.
the absolute classic.
Yes, I need to fall back in love with Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah, that's honestly a good move.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I've talked about it 100 times, but I can't imagine getting so ramped up on the internet and like being like, I'm actually showing up to the political rally. Like, dude, when they were showing the footage of Charlottesville, it was like,
I remember watching Charlottesville and just laying on that. I remember exactly when it was and where I was. It was the day after we did a live podcast at Helium where we were being a little obnoxious.
Yeah.
Racially,
We're having fun.
homophobic, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, this stuff's not going to boil over. We're just joking around. Yeah. And then I was laying on the couch, hungover, watching Charlottesville, like, oh, no. No, I'm part of the problem a little bit. No, of course I'm not. But watching Charlotte, everybody there is a complete fucking dork.
Yeah.
And they'd like throw stuff at each other. And we were like it was all nerd spazzes to get away from objects.
Yeah.
Like where you like hunch over and run as fast as you can to get
Yeah.
like bumping into shit, trying to run away.
Yeah, just watching they were just nerd particles bouncing off of each other. It's like, no, I'm fine, fuck you guys win. They just like grab trash can lids and collide. It's a shame. It is honestly, it is a shame, dude.
Yeah, they shouldn't. But how did they get there?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what we got to ask.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
can't just be like, no, those are Nazis.
No,
It's like, dude, he's desperate.
dude,
He's
it's-
lonely. There's something going on. Now I'm getting into JP, I guess.
I'm telling you, dude. It's
You
the
can't
real,
make excuses.
It's
for
the
these
real
people,
deal, dude.
Or you're one of them.
No, dude, these guys, all of them, dude. The guys who were dressed in all black were like, no, I'm actually a communist.
I'm a communist.
The guys were like, well, I'm not really a Nazi, but you know, like,
Yeah, a
whatever.
couple Roman salutes. What the hell?
Just colliding. It's a shame. It
It has died down though, right?
I think so.
I feel like it's died down.
I think it's gonna. Yeah, I
It was
think
at
so.
a fever pitch back then.
Proud Boys had it, and then
Antifa and
that got crushed. That was like, they had their thing going. That created a power vacuum, and now I think the Flint Man came in and started filling it. I think people just
that's
don't.
old though. That
Is that old?
is old.
Yeah, I don't think people give a fuck about it really anymore. It's
No.
not. It's just going to start losing. It's kind of it's going to start.
But you
losing
watch a
its way.
documentary like that and you're reminded of how fucking gay that was for so long.
Yeah,
It was like 4 years of just,
yeah, 5, even a year after.
yeah, it kind of is just starting to stop. The pendulum's finally swinging back to the
Yeah,
middle.
or maybe everyone getting grounded. The whole country got grounded for 2
We
years.
did get grounded
We
for
got
2
grounded,
years.
dude, for 2 years. We had to stay inside. and
We
people-
needed that, dude. We
A cool-
needed
a
good
cool
grounding.
down?
Now, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's bad that it happened, but if
little
you
cool
word it
down.
like that, if you word it as a grounding,
cool down.
although during the cool down, it was kind of the worst it's ever been. So
Yeah, it was bad.
maybe the grounding wasn't
People
good.
were struggling before, and then they lost literally like everything, and they had to sit in their home completely unequipped to like deal with their thoughts and feelings, and had to stop. And they were just, and then most people lost all their money.
I know exactly how to handle it, dude. Mom and Dad's basement.
That's the
NCAA 2014.
the bomb shelter.
It was. I wish I could go back.
Dude, that would be fucking
I actually
nice.
can.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I might ground myself for a year.
You should buy like a piece of their backyard and set up like a 4-story tower and just look down upon your parents. Just a real narrow structure
I should buy their house
with an elevator
I might just buy their house
and lease it to them.
and find out what the ordinance is on how many stories I can add to it. Make it like 6 stories.
Dude, my Brittany brought up a decent point in terms of the student loan relief. She postulated a theory, and I think I agree with her, that it was all a ruse to go. Because they signed you up. They approved everybody, by the way, for student loan forgiveness. And then they sent you an email like 3 weeks later being like, we were so close to knocking $20,000 off. These fucking Republicans blocked us in Supreme. And it's like, there's no way their lawyers didn't say like, oh, this is actually unconstitutional. Yeah, they just ran with, I agree. This is what I think
That's
happened.
true. I think that's true.
They ran with it. And dude, imagine what that does. Someone's like, yo, I'm about to get 20 G's knocked off my loan. It's like, fuck, the Republicans blocked us.
Republicans fucking blocked it, dude.
I think it was bullshit. I think they knew that it wouldn't happen. This is the nonsense, dude. This is the total nonsense.
Damn.
That's why we should go full Jubilee. They should do a full Jubilee. Just be like, dude, it's good. It's a good move. Every 7 years, the Jews had a thing where they would just wipe debts. Everyone like, all right, fucking, let's all start over.
That's not. You can't do that.
Let's all start from scratch.
Can't do
that. The Jews did it. It worked for them. They would be like, let's Jubilee.
But
year.
when?
Like 600 BC.
Yeah.
600 BC.
There's like 10 of them, and 3 of them died every 7 years. They would all be dead. They did, back then, yeah, sure.
I think what it was like another guy.
We were all
like,
living in fucking mud huts.
Yeah.
And be like, fuck it, wipe it.
There'd be chickens.
Let's just go try to find some food.
Yeah. Well,
Nowadays, yeah.
Well,
everybody
now,
would just never pay until 7 years.
I mean, imagine trying to track down your money. You'd be like, where's that guy again? Like, yeah, he moved.
He's gone.
He's no record.
He's a mile away. We'll never find
He
him.
might be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I guess that wouldn't really.
Ran
I don't
out
know
of
though.
water.
But then I think it. I don't know. Would it work? You could wipe out student debt. Like the economy wouldn't like collapse. It would
I
just
think it might.
if you wiped out student debt.
Yeah, I think all of us, that's like all of our country's money.
Student debt.
I think, doesn't everybody have like
Yeah,
tons of money in debt?
a couple $100,000.
Like,
That's kind of sick though. That
I
was
don't
right.
I don't
I mean, if you
understand
think
anything.
about it, you might complain about your student loans, but if you think about how rich that makes our country, it's like, how about you just shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
How about you shut the fuck up?
Yeah, it's sick.
It's so sick that our country.
I fucking love billionaires.
Dude, the fact that you're giving your country that much money for,
Not
I
even
would
your
say,
country. It's just going to like 2 guys.
but then it trickles down.
It does trickle
Shane,
down.
let me tell you about economics, dude. And
Yeah.
then if you give your money to the right rich people, it trickles down back on.
It's going to come right back
and
to
then
you.
the Dems cut off 20 grand, and they'll do it. They don't
Dems
get
will cut
blocked.
it.
They were ready to cut off 20 grand, and then they got blocked, dude.
Yep.
Republicans said, no, hell no, because they hate you and they're racist. I don't know if you know this, dude.
Are all Republicans racist?
Yes. And then, yes.
But wait, are all Democrats?
No, not a single one. It doesn't lie in their hearts. They're incapable of it, Shane. I don't know if you know this, dude.
Matt?
But I don't know if you know this, but they're spared from that part of the human condition of biasing. They're spared, and they just want to give you money. And there's these racist guys who are just like, no, fuck that. We hate immigrants so much. We're going to block. It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah, we're fucked.
No, I don't think, I'm telling you, I think it's going to be just, it's all going to collapse. It's starting to collapse in terms of just total nonsense. And hopefully dudes are going to be able to, well, I don't know, the internets have been, or the schools have been kind of like dragged into the whole thing. If there's like schools that come out and they're like, dude, you have to learn how to literally ignore all this stuff and just start a fucking shoe shop or something, dude. Just make enough money to pay your bills and chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks. It sucks, man.
Yeah.
Stinks.
I don't have yeah. If we continue down a path of just wild shit, eventually it's gonna get wild.
Yeah, everyone's taking,
And it will be bad.
Yeah, dude. It's something like actually, because now it's kind of like, I mean, it does suck.
Yeah, now it's like, you see this fucking trans teacher? What a freak.
Yeah.
If it could get to the point where it's like, damn, they raped that town.
yeah.
It's happened. You got to watch out.
Yeah, true.
You don't want your town getting raped while you're dead.
No.
You're in a fucking prisoner of war camp in Russia. and your whole fucking family gets raped.
Yeah, that would stink. I do. That's my big question.
That is a possibility.
I do wonder. I go, dude, could something like that happen?
Yes.
The dudes.
Not only could it happen, it's always happened.
Yeah.
Forever.
So you're telling me the dudes with trash can lids or the black bloc anti-photos,
they won't be the ones to do it.
They won't do it.
They're the dorks. They'll never be the ones to do it.
So we'd have to get like bombed. I guess if you get bombed, you get pretty charged up to where you're like, yo, if I get in there, I'm not saying.
I don't think we're anywhere close to that right now.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it is a weird. It seems to me. I don't know. It's not like I have any fucking concept of what this is.
I'm thinking out loud.
But yeah, I'm just literally talking until I have to get on a plane. I'm just making noises.
It is funny in like 30 minutes, you'll be sitting there with your hands folded on your lap.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there like, what the fuck was that podcast?
No, it's good.
Why did I say those things? I don't know. I don't know how these people got fucked. How'd they get there?
What?
In the past, in World War II, all these massive events, how'd they get there?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And it's not like we're technically like it's easy to sit there and be like, well, they came out of monarchies, which was a mistake. Now we're better than that. It's like, are we? We
Yeah.
don't know. Is this a step? Who knows
No one knows.
if we're better or more equipped for handling? Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say.
It's people's lives. People are trying to handle their
Help me out
lives.
here. Help me out.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, jump in.
The average human being's trying to handle their life. The average human being's trying to handle their life and make sense of
Yeah.
it. And it's just hard and makes people sad because we're going to die. Everyone's going to die.
Yeah,
And everyone's going,
you're gonna die, but try not.
don't be
Just
a
try to
fucking
make sure
bitch
it's
about it.
not getting raped to death.
Exactly.
That's
But
it.
the problem is people are going to die. They come to grips with this and they go, I don't like the thought of that very much. It's
Yeah.
like, I'd like to have some part of me live forever or somehow, and then it's like people just stew under the pressure of just like a potentially meaningless existence. And then some guy comes along and he's like, do you want glory for you? And you're like, nah, I think I'll take a little bit of that. And like, here's what we got to do.
Glory's great.
I'll tell you, I watched I got this, I've been watching this YouTube channel that's the National Archives. So it's like old videos of like, it's like old like videos from like the 50s of like basically talking people away. This video was the threat of like, just like groupthink and how people fell into the Nazi party. It's
Yeah.
pretty sick. And they're like these old videos and there's this young man who gets off a train, the guy sitting there being like, and I'll tell you the reason for this. And he's sitting there like, I don't know, this fella makes a lot of sense. And he's basically like the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
And this guy from, I guess like Austria or whatever is like, don't believe him. And they go back to how like the Nazis came about. It's pretty sick.
Damn.
But yeah, they're just dudes who can't handle their lives, man. It's so perplexing and bewildering to be a human being. And you're just sitting there, you're like, I'm frustrated. And you have no way to like navigate it at all. You're sitting there being like, frustrated, just terrified at every turn.
Yeah.
Some dude's like, here's the plan, bro.
You want to know something frustrating that happened to me?
What?
Fucking Notre Dame lost to USC.
That's what I'm saying.
If
Imagine
that-
if a fucking
If that happened to every day of my life,
someone could scoop you
every day,
every day.
Caleb Williams danced around Notre Dame's defense. Eventually, I'd be like,
I need answers.
somebody, I'll pick up a gun. Hit me a rifle. I'll head over there. God, USC's fucking. You know what's nice? The rivalry's back, man. The rivalry's back. USC sucked for so long. Then get this, man. They
So you
went
thought
out,
it was going to be a fucking free for all. You thought you're going to walk into the gates of USC and
I thought we were walking into
I'm
the
not going to
Coliseum.
say raped women, but you thought,
We
figured
thought it was good. We were the Nazis going into Russia. We were like, dude, we're the best. We're gonna fuck everybody
someone's
up.
going to clip that up and fuck you. So you thought it was fucking child's play.
No. USC was favored. I thought Notre Dame had a chance. I thought we'd be able to pound the rock on them,
Yeah.
which we would be able to. But they held the entire game. Not saying it's I'm not gonna say what race the refs were.
Jewish refs.
This is how you join the Nazi party, dude.
That's so fucking.
Caleb Williams.
Someone hits you with a.
Caleb Williams dominates Notre Dame. Like the Jewish refs. Although I will say Phil started to get a little he got a little racist a couple times. I'll tell you why. He wasn't actually being racist.
Yeah.
But I can feel the undertones because Caleb Williams is USC's quarterback.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Cool.
Yeah.
He paints his fingernails before games. It says like "fuck Notre Dame" on his fingernails.
What?
He wore like a Kyler Murray. Yeah, you wouldn't. He wore like a Hillary Clinton pantsuit to the game with chains on. Who's
Kyler Murray?
He's a quarterback in Arizona.
But they're
I'll show
wearing.
you.
Is that the thing now?
They pregame's a fashion show for the
Power women, yeah. But they were
but
getting
now they
like,
dress like power women.
what the fuck? Do you have a picture of this?
Wait till you see this.
That's a disturbing phenomenon.
He
Although, what an instinct for. I mean, that's crazy to make a power. I wouldn't think. What the fuck? That is a Hillary woman. Hillary
See how
Clinton
that can
power
make-
suit.
see how that can make you a little angry? You see that, you go, what the fuck?
Dude, a Hillary Clinton pantsuit's a crazy fucking thing.
Let me see if Caleb's suit's on here.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, Caleb Williams shows up in cool outfits to games. There he is.
Yeah, that
But-
stinks.
Here's the thing. He dominated. He's
He
going to
was
win the
so
Heisman.
nasty.
He was so good. Dude. He was so good, and he was talking so much shit. It hurt. And me and my father, two fats in Pennsylvania, we could do nothing about it. This
Powerless.
gorgeous man in high fashion was dancing on the Irish. We could do nothing. Other than lay there and go, ah! On the other side of the country, a beautiful man was dancing on us.
Just put on like a beautiful outfit and walked
Oh, I
out.
put on a cool outfit. We're like, what the hell's that? This guy's a pussy. We're going to kill him.
Now, if you walked outside and someone's in your backyard and was like, gentlemen, do you have a moment?
Yeah.
Take this literature.
Yeah,
You're like, what the
here's
hell?
some literature against guys in suits like that. I'd say yes, dude.
You could have got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny. In the film, they showed like how the Nazis were just like German dudes with regular lives, and the guy shows up at the Nazi thing to his family, like his wife and his kid are there. His wife's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, you should don't you dare! I should call the fucking cops. How dare you fucking question
Yeah.
what we're doing?" He's like, "I'm about to take us to the top." There's like poor dudes who were just like,
Also, dude, where they took them is so funny. They took them to the worst human experience of all time. They fucked up so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that was. I knew they like promised them like a great life, but I never even thought about. I thought they were just like, yeah, join the war, but they were like,
Yeah.
dude, you're about to take over.
Yeah.
Catholics, the Jews, blacks are like, they stink. You're the Aryan
You're
guy.
the best
Let's go.
ever.
Germany is in your. You're gonna rule Germany.
Yeah.
And these guys were just like, yeah, fuck, this is fucking right. And you're right. I didn't even think about that.
It brought them to.
Did they get anything but?
They got the worst result of all time.
Yeah.
The worst result ever.
Oh.
They committed a Holocaust and then they all got raped and their cities exploded. They fucked up so bad.
They got
dude.
tricked.
They got fucked up so badly.
Yeah, it is like if you let someone grip you from the worst parts of yourself, dude. and
Nothing
command
could be.
you.
It'd be like it'd be like handing your daughter the wheel of your car on the highway. That would be the result of what happened.
Yeah, I guess
it's
that
just
is
pure the worst decision of all time.
that must be the real thing. That's the real lesson no one's learned. If you're watching a thing and like you feel yourself getting kind of angry and vindicated, just shut it off. You're being tricked. You're literally being
True.
tricked.
Although in Notre Dame USC next year at Notre Dame, I'll be there. I'll be at Notre Dame. I'll say, seek revenge for what happened.
You should get a handler during the Notre Dame games. When it starts getting really bad, someone shuts the TV off. And I gotta see it.
Put it
Shit.
back on.
Shit,
I'm not
no.
mad.
Throw you in a basement. You're like, let him cool down. We have 48 hours. Get your dad's running away. He's like, get his dad.
Phil would not handle that well.
You know what I was laughing about? Did you see those Balenciaga shoes? The real
No.
crazy ones that almost look like cleats? They put out a wild ass fucking
I'd
shoe.
like to start wearing cleats.
Dude,
Hear the click clack on
I
the
was
street.
laughing, wondering if to see if a pedo could get past Chris Hansen's defenses in like the high fashion Balenciagas, dude. They look like pedophile cleats. Some dude sent me them on Twitter. It was the
Oh, they
funniest
are.
fucking thing.
Those are sick, dude.
Look at those things, dude.
Those
Yeah,
good
dude.
Pedophile cleats.
There's another pair too that they look almost like you're walking on basketballs.
What?
Imagine that though, dude.
Also, there's the other thing. Then, you sit here and you're like, oh, these fucking all right guys. Yeah, we're not a fucking cabal of pedophiles at the top. And then Balenciaga puts out a goddamn
dude.
child porn ad.
But then I go, was that like a thing? Is that like some weird? That's the question I ask. Is there people on some next level manipulation where it's like that was a ploy just to get everyone pissed off? Because imagine that, like these guys start to die down, you you just fucking goad them with this shit. There's a pedophile document on the bottom of a Balenciaga thing. Like, dude, how did that get past? I read this one thing where it's like a company like Balenciaga, they were like, oh, our fucking photographers are wilding out. But it's like your whole thing is on brand and image. And the thing I read was like, there's nothing gets past like multiple levels of a company whose whole thing is their that's their whole thing. It's just a fucking shoe, but they have this whole image they built. Like it's like whatever. There's no way that got past where it was like some horny photographer was putting in like
you never know
pedophile stuff.
It's not like the guy was going to zoom in on the paperwork on the desk to see that it was
for sure. But then once you see the teddy bears and the BDSM, you might be like, let's take a fine tooth comb.
Yeah,
but sure, I would
if you're like
some
that. Weird Manhattan freak lady, you're like, what? It's cool.
That's what I'm
They have
wondering
no
about.
idea. They're fucking morons.
Yeah.
If you're in high fashion, you are a fucking idiot.
Well, dude, high fashion, the job isn't to appease anyone, it's
real.
to challenge. The job.
Am I wrong on that?
No, you're totally
You have
right.
to be the biggest dumbass
Dude,
of all time.
I read you're Mugatu.
Look at this. This is fashion, dude.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
This is fashion.
Dude, all I'm gonna say is don't mess with the S, bro. Don't mess with the
Skechers.
fucking S.
Skechers. Kanye came in and Skechers said,
That was
no.
shocking. I was like, are you serious?
No.
Skechers doesn't know their base. I mean, I'm not saying that's why.
Skechers does not know their base.
It's all old dude.
Yeah,
it's all old white dudes. We're like, oh, I don't know.
Now, that is one good thing about the extremism right now. It is bringing the base back. The old white dudes are going, what?
Yeah.
To all the extreme bullshit. They're all going, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Cut it out. That's nice.
Yeah, that is.
Bring the boys back into the middle a little.
Well, that's the one thing people can't deny, that like the purple bowl cuts, as annoying as all that was, they did make a bunch of old white dudes have to like just face one little thing, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't, I can't say that or this. It's like it's not a totally bad thing.
Yeah.
But it's all their solutions to everything are ridiculous and unworkable, but everyone might kind of like, yeah, I guess being a slave must have sucked a little bit. Like, I don't know. I
I have to admit that whole slavery thing was a bit of a fuck up.
Or because they're like, what? Come on, man.
Hey.
Just work.
This guy's working. Jeez.
Just to deny the psychological reality of an entire group of people.
We
who
ripped
are
apart their family
totally
and sent them to a
dominated.
different world. What the hell? We worked them to death. So what?
That was what, like 2 grandmoms ago, dude? Come on,
Yeah,
there's so
that
many
was it.
grandmoms.
They couldn't go to college like during when I was in college. So
It did elevate the cultural consciousness, but
it did.
then again,
At what cost, dude? Did we have to deal with? If I have to watch one more libs of TikTok of some fucking rainbow-haired kindergarten teacher being like, I talked to all my gay students. Like, bro, they're in kindergarten. They're all gay.
yeah,
Every one of them. They're all fucking gay.
yeah. But the problem is, the average person is like a bottle rocket mentally. You just give them an idea, and they're just fucking like, and they go all.
That was a Roman, dude.
I was going off my head.
That's exactly what that dude was doing.
Fuck, go out of here.
You Roman saluted.
But I'm telling you, give a person like an idea, and they just fucking fly into the atmosphere with it, where you can't just be like, oh yeah, I could see that. Not, people can't temper themselves.
Guys, listen to Dan Carlin's Ghosts of the
Yeah.
Ostfront.
Check that out.
It is funny to think of the German leaders being like, we're gonna fucking do this. It's like, my whole family's dead. We're all starving.
I
What
know.
the fuck did you do?
And it's one thing to like, I'm not gonna like, I just did stand up comedy in front of my wife's family. I'm not likening that to like World War
It's like
II.
Stalingrad.
My thing is like, if I were to, it's one thing to fail in war and do a Holocaust, double shame.
Oh.
Like it's like to lose and like have like be like, oh, and we
And then
what did we do? We tried to
they got
exterminate a
fucking
race?
holocausted.
The Germans?
They got fucking destroyed. Their civilians got murdered.
Oh, yeah.
Murdered and raped.
Yeah.
And no one cares
No, not at all.
because they
were
holocausted.
Holocausted, yeah.
Literally everyone's like,
Yeah, they should have
you should have done what you did.
just been fighting for control of resources like a decent person.
Yeah,
rather
you
than-
should. Yeah,
trying to
should just
exterminate a
give us some of
race.
that oil.
Yeah, they were.
Give us Earl,
Give us Earl.
but don't fucking fight about it. We're coming to get your Earl. Don't you dare!
I mean, dude, but they tapped into like enriched plutonium. Of like
I wonder if the bros in the Middle East that look at like like ISIS type guys as the same way we look at like Fuentes and them. or like Charlottesville, where they're
Probably.
like, those guys are so fucking gay.
Probably. And it's also
It's
like they're
probably
just,
so fucking annoying.
oh, dude, it's
That
got to be
fucking
brutal.
ISIS come to your town, just like, God damn it, dude.
Dude, to the point where you're on a plane and some
These
guy's
guys
like,
suck.
does this guy have a fucking bomb?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, come on, man. I was just kidding around about bombs.
I
Fucking
was
around.
joking about the bombs, dude. It was-
Yeah, it sucks. I think that is the case. I think most people are just trying to live a normal life and like not be completely subsumed by the darkness that grows stronger in their heads every day with each passing day.
God.
It's like, ugh. But yeah, it's, you know, it's a shame. But the Romans were sick, dude. They were just farmers.
No,
Initially, they were farmers that
Holocausted.
militarized. I mean, obviously they got to that.
they did the Holocaust too.
They did, but I'm saying like people need
Shout
to
out
get
Dan Carlin, Celtic Holocaust.
people need to get back. It's true, but people need to get back
Celtic.
to the thing of like what's their own personal farm they can tend. That was the guys, those Roman guys. That be like, you can be like lords and dictators, or like take me back to
Just
the
trying
farm.
to farm.
Take me back to the farm, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, they did get a little
Like
carried away.
Maximus.
They got carried. Yeah, exactly.
Maximus.
They got carried away too. Of
Everybody
just-
gets carried away. The Romans got very carried away, dude.
Yeah. They sacked the Greeks, dude. That book, The History of the World in Six Drinks, it's good. It's not the most in depth history thing, but it's pretty sick, dude. They talk about how the Romans conquered the Greeks. Then there was this one guy, I think Cato, who was like, dude, the Greeks conquered us. Their culture, we like conquered the Greeks and learned their culture, and it completely just degenerated. Like we just degenerated completely.
I'm in Terminal 4 at the John F. Kennedy Airport.
Yikes.
That hopefully won't take me too long.
You adopted the Spud microphone technique.
Yeah, it's
Spud
not.
should patent this, dude, on his chest. What a symposium that was, dude.
I knew that was a symposium.
Dude,
When we got done, you were like, that sucked. I was like, no, people are going to
what are you talking about? I didn't say that sucked. I thought it was awesome.
Oh, did I, Sean?
Oh, Mike,
Sean, you bitch.
Sorry.
what'd you say?
Fuck, this guy's a minute away. That's the thing about calling it. That's the thing about living in the Big Apple, guys. You call an Uber, he's at your front door in
Yeah,
a fucking minute.
Well, it's, yeah.
So
You got to hop on the back of a
I have to
scooter.
go. Sean, are you going to sit here and do the Patreon?
Yeah,
Or-
we're going to do the page. We're going to actually get in
Oh, we're going to sub you in, do the Patreon in my house.
Big shoes to
without me.
and I'll lock up before I
Do me a
leave.
kindness. Just unplug the Christmas lights before you leave.
I will
Yes, sir.
solemnly, too.
They seem like it is sad.
Solemnly, just
My
one
girlfriend's
day.
still back home, and I sit here by myself, and I plug them in at night.
Time for Christmas
I play-
miracle.
Yeah, it makes me sad to sit around with Christmas lights in an empty house.
Yeah, they can be the Christmas tree lit up can be a
Alone?
sinister instrument when you're not feeling well. I've swallowed that living symbol myself in my darkest hour and just cried in my kitchen.
All right. I wish it went long enough that we could edit out the whole first half of that.
No way, dude.
I've got to go. Make sure if you don't tune in to our holiday
Dude.
extravaganza,
Oh yeah, dude.
even though I'm not sure it's holiday related, but
December 14th.
yeah, we're gonna. It's
How can it
certainly
not
gonna.
be?
It's gonna be jolly.
Super
joyous.
jolly, dude.
All right, the fucking Uber's here.
Yeah, I'll do part 2 of Jerusalem.
Goodbye,
Maybe, we'll
everybody.
see.
Goodbye.
The Wild Wild West.
All right, Paul Check, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
I mean, thanks for coming. I've been really thinking about getting you on here for years.
Is that right?
I swear to God, you seem like I started watching you probably 10 years ago.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's because you're, I guess, what's your title? You're a holistic health
I'm a holistic
practitioner?
health practitioner by
Okay.
license. Yeah.
But you're also like the level of like depth you go into with stuff. It's like, seems like you're a doctor. Although
Well,
you
a
probably
lot of-
can't say you are.
A lot of people think I am, but holistic health means the whole, right? So I pretty much deal with the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual aspects of life. And
Yeah.
people usually have all those problems at once.
Yeah, and deal with maybe one physical, maybe.
Well,
Usually
usually
not
the
even.
physical problems are, unless someone falls off a ladder or, gets in a car accident, 85% of all orthopedic injuries are idiopathic, which means the patient doesn't even know how they got them. So
Really?
when you consider 85 out of 100 people going to doctors because of injuries to necks, backs, muscles, joints, don't know how it is that they actually got injured, what you come to realize as a therapist, you can either just keep treating symptoms or you got to figure out why is this thing manifesting in their life. And it's almost always things like diet problems, lifestyle challenges, relationship problems, beliefs that are disempowering, being scared of God.
Yeah. Well, what do you think in terms of like, so as like a holistic health practitioner, have you ever I'm sure you have, but like, what has it been like taking someone who was in like a pretty bad state, physically, emotionally, mentally, all that stuff, and like really transforming them from like if they had like, say they had like indigestion, back pain, anxiety, like how it, like what I guess what I'm trying to ask you is like, what is it like to transform somebody like that? And B, like, are there some people it's just like there's nothing you can do, or like
There's always something you can do, but it just depends on how motivated the person is to heal and to grow. I created the term the pain teacher. So when the pain teacher shows up in your life, it's a good idea to be a good student. So the first thing I identify is, what are you willing to heal for and grow for, that you're inspired enough to do the work to heal and grow? Because if I don't identify a dream bigger than your crisis, then you'll become so accustomed to your crisis, then you'll just turn yourself into someone who's taking drugs and seeing doctors for the rest of your life, and that's exactly what they want.
Yeah. So you're saying that's kind of the first area you go into is like, what are you doing? Like, what's your point? Like, what's your purpose?
Well, I ask, what is your dream for yourself? Why do you want to heal? What are you going to do with yourself? I have to have something that inspires and motivates them, because it's very, very rare that I can rehabilitate somebody that doesn't have to make changes in their diet and their lifestyle and their beliefs and the behaviors that led to the problem.
What percentage of people will you deal with have like zero overarching dream to their life, or just kind of going through the motions?
I would say probably about 85 to 90% of people really don't know what they're doing in their life other than making money to try to survive.
Yeah.
And so that's a real big part of the therapy, is helping them get clear on what's meaningful to them and what fills their heart, what gives them a sense of purpose beyond just existing.
Yeah, I think that checks out. I really, I call it the drift. Whenever I get caught up in just the day-to-day bullshit of just like, like, am I selling tickets for stand-up, am I this, and I have no overarching purpose of like, what am I doing? Who am I doing it for? What is the point of my existence? Am I actually helping anybody, or am I just fucking pumping resources into myself, like unconsciously and thoughtlessly?
It's called Flatland.
Flatland, yeah. I spent a lot of time there myself. And that's how I found you. I was on YouTube just finding like workouts and this and that. And I'd be like, oh, that's kind of a cool workout. Then I'd watch you talk and I was like, damn, this guy knows a lot about kind of a lot of shit. So how did you get into that? Because you were a paratrooper?
I was a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division, yeah.
And then you got into motocross racing?
I was racing motocross when I was a young man before I became a paratrooper. So
that was first.
And I was a competitive fighter. I was a boxer and a kickboxer. And I played a lot of sports, but I fought my way onto the Army boxing team while I was in the 82nd Airborne Division, and then I became the trainer of the Army boxing team.
Oh, okay.
And the team doctor was an osteopathic physician, so I was put in charge of nutrition. I was put in charge of designing and developing all the training programs for the fighters, and I took them all through them personally. I didn't just write shit on the board. I did everything with them. I was also in charge of managing the gym, and I represented the Army in triathlon at the same time. First, I was a fighter on the boxing team, but I was also representing the Army in triathlon. And my company commander said, hey, I'm going to bet a lot of money on you to win the Army triathlon. So if you want to stop boxing so you can train full-time for triathlon, I'll let you do it. You just got to win. And I knew that I wasn't going to turn pro because my fighting style is too aggressive, and I already had lots of guys on the boxing team that showed a lot of signs of brain injury already as early as 19 and 20 years of age.
You're saying like from the damage you were inflicting, or you're saying just in general, just getting knocked around so much?
No, just a lot of the guys on the team had 300 plus fights.
Oh God!
They started boxing, most of them when they were around 8 years old.
Jesus,
these are like the best fighters in the world. The only teams that ever beat us was Cuba and Russia. We're the third ranked amateur boxing team in the world.
Jesus.
So it's very serious.
So okay, so it wasn't just like pounding around like you guys were like doing heavy competitive boxing.
We trained 6.5, 7 hours a day.
Damn.
And traveled all over. Our teams travel all over the world competing. And it's a big recruitment tool for the military.
Okay.
Army sports is quite big.
That actually makes sense.
And so my team doctor was an osteopath. So once I left I told the coaches I was going to leave and train full time for triathlon, they already knew that I knew a lot that they didn't know, because they've always been stunned the fact that I could, get up earlier than they did, run 6 to 10 miles a day, go swimming in the pool for an hour while they're eating lunch. And then after work, I'd go ride 25 to 60 miles at night. And while I'm a fighter on the team, I'm also competing in triathlon. And they're like, how in the hell do you do this? And
How did you do? That's insane.
well, I was raised on a farm,
Okay.
a big farm, 142-acre farm, by a very, very intense father who did not know what a child was and worked us like slaves in a concentration camp.
Yeah.
And as I said to the guys in the last podcast, if you want to know what real fitness is, let me hand you an axe and let you split firewood for about 8 hours straight. And when your hands are covered in blisters and your father doesn't give a shit, you'll know what real fitness is.
Jesus Christ. So you had like, this was like nothing to you then to be that active and move around.
It wasn't that it was like nothing. I had to train extremely
Sure,
hard.
yeah.
I was competing at a very high level in triathlon. I was in the top 10 overall, even with the pros, in 6 USTS races, which is, that's the full blown
Yeah, that's intense.
elite triathlon. That's the real triathlon organization. And I was, a ranked fighter, and I was I did very well in motocross, and so it was really just that my father built such a strong work ethic into me and to all of my siblings that it wasn't out of character for me to realize how hard I had to work, and I don't like losing. So I just took the work ethic that was built into me from the farm and just applied that to something I wanted to do instead
Yeah.
of something I was being told to do, and that was very freeing.
Hey, that's kind of nice. And I guess the farm gives people like a sun up to sundown mentality. You're not kind of like, well, I'm clocking up. It's like as soon as the sun's up, you got to get out.
You're at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
My father's rule was you feed and water the animals before you eat. And if I ever catch you eating or drinking anything before those animals are taken care of, you'll never forget it. And he meant it.
Yeah, I guess he would just dole out some punishment.
He could dole it out.
So you got out of there. I guess that makes sense. You're doing motocross in the military. So how did you like start absorbing kind of like health and holistic nutrition stuff? Like,
My mother's was a yogi. She became a yogi when I was 12. She'd been to India 3 times for advanced initiation. So my mother joined the Self-Realization Fellowship, which is the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, which is already quite holistic. And my mother was already just naturally into holistic everything. We raised our own food. We slaughtered our own animals. We pretty much could live off of our farm. We milked our own cows, made our own butter, our own cheese, our own ice cream, our own bread. So I lived a very ground up life. And I also was very aware when I was young, competing in athletics, that whenever the guys that come from the area where I come from out in the country played city teams, we destroyed them.
yeah,
And so it was easy for me to see the difference between the guys that came off of farms, like on football and on hockey. They were just a lot tougher, and they could take a lot more beating. So I already had an early, the handwriting was on the wall that if you eat too many Cheez-Its and drink too much soda pop and sit around, then you don't have the right stuff to be a good athlete.
yeah. So what would you, if someone is going from like that state of like the standard, like Cheez-Its, all that stuff, if like say that's starting at 0, like total inactivity, terrible diet, like what would you tell people to do if you had to give them like 4? I don't know if this is like an annoying question, but like,
No, you ask me.
how do people get started? Like if like you want to give someone like a very basic thing to like start yourself to being actually like healthy and all that.
Well, after many, many years as a therapist and a specialist in conditioning and a guy that's worked with countless of the best athletes in the world, I synthesized what one must understand in order to be successful in any kind of endeavor, whether it be to just be healthy so that you don't have to deal with pain all the time, or to play with your grandkids, or to, be able to hike to the top of your favorite mountain, or to win a gold medal. And basically, I broke it down to 4 key areas that we have to have conscious awareness of, which I call the 4 doctors. And the reason I call them that is because if you spend time with these 4 doctors, you don't need the ones that give you drugs and do surgery.
Yeah.
The first one, and that's the most important, is doctor happiness. So first you have to be conscious about what is happy making for you, be committed to doing it regularly enough that you don't need to turn to drugs or depend on other people to make you happy, because that leads to a lot of relationship problems and health problems and codependencies. And Dr. Happy is also the aspect of your psyche that you must be clear on what your dream goal or objective for your life is at any given time. And once you're clear on what your dream goal or objective for your life is, then you have to establish clear values so you know when to say yes and when to say no. Because if you have no values, you never know when to say no. And so you'll eat, whatever someone sticks in front of you, or drink whatever someone sticks in front of you. And next thing you know, you feel like shit and you look just as bad.
Yeah.
So the values you've got to set have to do with the other three doctors. First, you have to establish, what am I going to do that's happy making regularly, so you know what you're doing. Like, some people like to play guitar. Some people like to read books. Some people like to watch movies. Some people like to go hiking. Some people like a mix of all those. But if you don't build that into your schedule, then you wake up one day, 5 years have gone by, and your whole family's addicted. You feel like shit, and you go, what happened? Then you have to be clear on what your movement needs are. So Dr. Movement first says, what do I need to have baseline health? Right? So you don't have to be an athlete, but you need to do at least 30 to 60 minutes of exercise a day, depending on the intensity and the type of exercise, which we could just call movement, right? So even if it's walking, I would tell people, if you're just going to walk, I would recommend you build yourself up to an hour a day, or you're going to end up being sedentary, because you got to deal with the force of gravity. And gravity is enough to wear a sedentary person out. I've met many people that got winded just walking up a flight of stairs. In fact, I found a research study once saying that 50% of people seeing medical doctors hit their lactate threshold walking from the waiting room to the examination room.
Damn, so they're getting like a burning pain in their legs.
They're getting what you would get after a set of heavy squats, where you feel like the last couple of reps are hard to get out.
Yeah.
They're getting that halfway to the doctor's examination room. That's 50% of people.
Damn, that's crazy.
So first, you got to use movement to create baseline health. And there's just the list of benefits of movement I could sit here and talk for hours on, mentally, emotionally, physically, hormonally, things like enhanced circulation, enhanced digestion, enhanced metabolism, enhanced mood. The benefits of movement are too many to list, and there's tons and tons of science on it. So then once you know what your dream, say your dream is to, let's say you're a park ranger, but you started, like you said, eating garbage and not knowing any better. Once you've got baseline health, then I would say, okay, well, how fit do you need to be to do your work, climbing mountains, potentially having to rescue people, carrying equipment around, building trails, doing the things a park ranger does. And then I would say, okay, now you got to build yourself up. I like to see, my goal with all my athletes that I train and all the patients I work with is to build you up to 30% higher of a physical capacity than the demands of your work, sports, or play environment.
Gotcha.
That way you have enough reserve that if you're tired, or if you are having to deal with a crisis, or you get a surprise, like say the park ranger's dealing with extremely heavy snow and someone gets caught out there and they're out on a 24-hour hunt to find someone, you need the reserves. Life always throws you curveballs, you know that.
Yeah.
So my goal as a therapist is always to identify what level of fitness they need, say a professional hockey player, and say, now I'm going to build you up so you're 30% beyond that.
Yeah.
Which means you're extremely fit.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Player.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is bulletproofing, right? That way you're safe. Then you've got to look at doctor diet. The old saying, you are what you eat, is very true, but there's another one that's just as true. You are what you don't excrete.
Yeah.
So the more toxins you accumulate in your body, the more poisoned you get, the more out of balance your physiology is, and the more complications you have, and the more you invite things like fungal infections and parasite infections and a lot of health degenerating things. And first it starts off as fatigue, then it becomes illnesses, often minor illnesses, then major ones, then diseases, then death. So you can tell where someone's at by just looking at that stage of progression. First you get tired, then you start having colds and flus, then you start having stuff that a doctor would call a disease like diabetes, then you die.
Damn.
And
Yeah, so basically just move around, know what you're up to, and eat good food.
you got to eat high quality food, which means it's got to be certified organic or it's covered with farming chemicals, which will poison you and kill you slowly.
So what do you think about people who have, like, I've noticed a certain type of machismo around organic produce where they go, I'm paying same fucking thing.
Well, there's a lot of, most people don't really have enough knowledge to be even intelligent in making a decision like that, sadly. There is a real problem because a lot of the major corporations such as Pepsi, Coke, Cadbury, Snickers, and many others that you would never expect own organic certifications.
Yeah.
But they also own large farms that produce commercial food. So what they do to buck the system is they actually do research. They fund university agricultural programs as well. So what they'll do is they'll take their commercially grown chemical-laden poison, they'll do research on it to analyze the nutritional values of it. Then they'll send in organic food under a different label, never telling you they own that label. And it's grown on the same burnt out soils, but without the chemicals added. And they say, look, there's no nutritional difference. And so they've been trying to wipe out the organic concept for years because they don't want to have to compete in a market that requires them to manage the soils properly because it's slower and it's more expensive. And it actually is respectful of nature. What a concept. So a lot of people have gotten this false conception that organic is no better, or they make excuses like, oh, there's so much toxins in the air, or there's overspray from chemicals. And I say, well, there's a scale of toxicity. Yeah. If you're getting an organic farm, yeah, there might be some overspray or some mild, chemtrails hitting your food, but it's still on a scale of toxicity, a lot less stressful on your body. So the thing is that you can't really rely on organic certifications because almost all of these, there's over 100 of them now, and only about 2 or 3 of them are actually legitimate.
So like, what about like Whole Foods produce, like anything?
Whole Foods started off good, but now it's just a corporate whore.
Yeah.
So there's another example of a place that once had good ideas, as is often the case. Just like religions, they start off with good intentions and become brainwashing machines.
Yeah.
Right? And as the world goes. And so the thing to do is go to farmers markets, and the real organic certifications are not only expensive, but to get a real organic certification, the organization sends a soil scientist to your property. They analyze your soil to see if there's mineral imbalances in it and if there's any chemicals in it that are dangerous. Then you have to go through a 2-year gestation period where they will, as part of the fee, they will help you balance the soils, get the microorganisms healthy, and the microorganisms will catabolize the chemicals in the soil. But it usually takes about 2 years for microorganisms to clean the soil. And only then can you get certified once they retest your soil. So most of these corporations will not go through that process.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of farmers won't either because they don't have the money. A lot of farmers are barely making it. So, if you pay $15,000 a year for an organic certification, but you're only making $20,000 a year after you've made your expenses. So the point I'm making is if you go to farmers markets and just ask, do you farm organically? Do you use any chemicals on this food? Most of them will say no.
Yeah.
The other thing is you can taste the difference.
Yeah.
You can taste the difference. If you eat real organic food and compare it to non-organic food, it's the difference between eating a styrofoam cup and real food.
It's kind of depressing. My brother grows a lot of food himself. He doesn't have a farm. He just kind of like loves gardening and stuff.
Good.
And having a potato like from the store versus or having his potato versus one from the store, it's like depressing.
Absolutely.
You eat it and you're like, oh, fuck, this is what this tastes like?
You're just eating empty shell of a living organism.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So the 2 key things, there's 3 key things. One, you have to be adequately hydrated with high quality water. In my book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, you have right there. I tell you what high quality water is, how to find it, and how to assess it from pH to mineral density and things like that. Total dissolved solids is what it's called. But once you're eating high quality food, then you have to eat the right proportions based on what your body's needs are. There's no such thing as a diet that works for any number of people. That's absolute bullshit. Every one of us is as different on the inside as we are on the outside. And just like we all have different fingerprints, we all have different needs. Even within the same family, you can see wildly different needs for food. You can have, In the same family, you can have someone sitting at one end of the table that does fine on almost a vegetarian diet, and on the other end, you got a total carnivore. Why? One might be an athlete. One might have parasites and fungal infection and have totally different biochemistry. One may have a completely different psychological profile and internalizes all their stress and therefore needs different nutrition because they're constantly stressing themselves out with stinking thinking.
Yeah.
So if I listed all the things that can change what your macronutrient and micronutrient needs are, it would take hours.
So it's not like MyFitnessPal, click 2,000, like, yep, that's me. So you got to really kind of get in
No,
there.
you got to pay attention, but your body's always telling you when you're eating right.
Yeah. What do you think about just not eating till you're hungry?
Well, there's no sense eating if you're not hungry.
I do it all the time though. I get in that thing where I'm like, it's lunchtime. I have to eat right now, and I eat, and I'm like, I'm stuffed, and I feel like gross.
Well, you shouldn't eat if you're not hungry, but generally most people need 3 meals a day unless they're sedentary.
Okay.
Or unless they're drinking things like caffeine or smoking cigarettes, because those can have an appetite suppressing effect.
Mm-hmm.
So, and medical drugs can do that as well. But if a person's healthy, breakfast should be your biggest meal of the day, because breakfast, the breakfast you eat has the most effect on stimulating your metabolism. That's been shown in research. It's especially important for women. For example, when you diet, research shows like if you start skipping meals, your body increases lipogenic enzymes which store fat. So the more you diet, the more your body tries to store fat because it thinks you're going into a famine period, so it's trying to protect you. If you eat 3 meals a day, or you eat enough that your body's not hungry and your body's not thinking, oh my God, we're running out of resources, you'll generate lipolytic enzymes, which break fat down more efficiently.
Okay.
So the general rule of thumb, there's a lady named Deborah Waterhouse that wrote a whole book on this. The general rule of thumb is breakfast should be your biggest meal of the day because it has the greatest effect on stimulating your metabolism. Ideally, most people find they need to eat about every 4 hours, but the difference is if you're not hungry, well, don't eat.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to overload the system. It takes 55%, approximately 55%, it's somewhere between 52 and 55% of all the calories you eat just to run the machinery of digestion to get the food from mouth to anus. So my point is, if you're just eating to eat and you're not hungry, you're spending a ton of energy and resources just to run it from mouth to anus.
Yeah.
So think of it like the cost of running a factory. So you've got to pay that price before you have nutrition that you can put into reserve, that you can use to play tennis, to chop firewood, to go to work, to run your brain.
Yeah.
And so when you realize how costly it is, and this is one of the reasons why it's very bad to eat too close to bedtime, because your organs and glands are working all night long, so you actually never get to rest your internal systems. So you can wake up feeling tired because you never got to rest the inner side of yourself, and there's more on the inside than there is on the outside, pretty much, So,
what would you, just real quick, what would you say before bedtime? Like 4 hours before you go to sleep? Stop eating, or like?
I would recommend not eating more than 2 hours, closer than 2 hours before bedtime. You should not go to bed feeling full at all.
Yeah.
You should feel comfortable, but not full.
Gotcha.
By the time you fall asleep, if you ate, say at 6:30 or 7 and went to bed at 10, by the time you fall asleep, you're going to be far enough along in the digestive process that probably within about the next 3 hours, most of the food will have left your stomach, come through the small intestine.
Gotcha.
It won't go all the way through the small intestine, but it'll be far enough along that the body doesn't have to do the hard work of breaking things down.
Yeah.
I've experimented with it a lot. I personally don't sleep well at all if I eat. Like if I typically go to bed around 9 because I get up at 3:30 in the morning. So if I eat later than about 6, I notice I don't get nearly the quality of sleep.
Yeah.
So I need about 3 hours myself. But everybody should just, realize that each of us is so individual. You got to be your own scientist and say, okay, let me pay attention what happens if I eat dinner 3 hours before bed? Oh, let me try 2 hours. Let me try an hour before bed. And you'll quickly get the feedback. It's not like you need a doctor or a therapist to tell you that. That's an expensive way to
true. Just try
avoid
it
common
yourself.
sense.
Well, here's a question I have.
One more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
We
Sorry.
forgot the fourth doctor.
Yeah, my bad.
Dr. Quiet. Dr. Quiet's all about sleep. And we all are built in tune with natural cycles. So our hormonal system is regulated by the sun and the moon. Once the sun starts rising up, your cortisol levels, which is your primary stress hormone, elevate. And it's an activating hormone. It stimulates the brainstem, called the reticular activating system. It has an alerting effect on you. Research shows that if you're sound asleep and a photon hits your skin, I can take a laser pointer when you're sound asleep and point it at your big toe, and you got cells in your skin called cryptochrome cells that will deliver photons to your hypothalamus and wake you up because your body thinks if there's light, the sun's up.
Whoa.
So as the sun goes up, our major stress hormone, which protects us, supports us, and it's also the major anti-inflammatory hormone and the major alerting hormone, right? And it's coupled with adrenaline. So you have the adrenaline, then cortisol, and the release cascade. They follow the sun as they go up. So we're designed to be the most active between about 10 o'clock and about 1 o'clock during the day. And then as it goes down and the sun's going down and the moon starts to go up, melatonin comes up, and it's the chief regulating hormone for all your anabolic hormones, which is your growth and repair hormones. So if a person, for example, before I tell you that, research shows that the first 4 hours of sleep, our body focuses on physical repair. So we need to be to bed by 10 o'clock p.m. on average. Otherwise, we delay the release of melatonin. So if we're, around flashing lights or these kinds of lights, it keeps telling your brain the sun's up. So as long as cortisol levels are up, melatonin levels stay suppressed, which means the half-life of cortisol is quite long. And you could end up, it can be 400 minutes. It's different depending on how healthy your liver is and how strong your liver is. But if you, for example, drink a cup of coffee at dinner time, you're going to still have tons of cortisol in you 4 hours later. So by the time you're just about to get up, you're only now is your body ready to release melatonin, but you've missed all your growth and repair time. So athletes burn themselves out and get lots of chronic injuries doing that. So if you just remember the simple rule that the activation hormones follow the sun and the growth and repair hormones follow the moon. So if you keep pushing your cortisol levels because you're making an extended day, which is like making an extended summer, so to speak, then you repress your growth and repair hormones. And the first 4 hours of sleep should be, the body devotes itself to physical repair, and the second 4 hours of sleep are devoted to psychogenic repair, so brain and nervous system repair. And having known this for, many, many years, I saw monitoring people's sleep cycles that sure enough, those that went to bed, say at midnight, had chronic physical problems. But those that were shift workers or mothers with new children that were staying up between about 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. had chronic neurological problems like headaches, cognitive disorders, crash cars a lot.
Yeah, Jesus.
Cut their fingers a lot with knives. Because their psychogenic repair is getting shut down. In fact, research on new mothers shows that in the first year, a woman's brain shrinks 1 centimeter in circumference. It shrinks like a plum becoming a prune due to lack of sleep. So
terrible.
The key thing that just to summarize, we need to make sure that we get to bed ideally by about 10 o'clock. And we've got to follow the natural cycles. And we want to make sure we don't eat too much food before bed because our body can't rest. And we don't want to drink coffee or stimulants any later than about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or it'll completely disrupt our hormonal cycles and we'll end up sleeping but waking up tired. We will sleep, but we will not be recovered. And the more physically demanding your work environment or your sports environment is, the more critical that becomes to your ability to improve, to grow, to recover, and to avoid injury and illness. And Dr. Quiet is also the chief of introspection. So if we don't take time each day to be alone and within ourselves, then we externalize our sense of self. So we only know ourselves by how much money we have, or what kind of car we drive, or how high our rank is in our work, or how our status is. So we actually start identifying ourselves only by what's outside, but we never really get to know who we are on the inside. And I can tell you from many people that have had a crisis in their life, like losing a job or an athlete getting injured who no longer could perform, they go into a crisis of self because they don't know who they are without their status, or without their hockey stick in their hand, or without their money coming in. And they go into a serious crisis of self. And it's like having a midlife crisis, but it's really a crisis of self. So if we take time each day to do what we classically be called meditation, or just simply to reflect on our day and say, how did I do in my relationships today? Could I have been a better listener with my children? Or could I have been more patient with my wife? Or could I have done a better job at work instead of taking shortcuts and making excuses? And we actually take responsibility for growing ourselves and looking at ourselves objectively and being honest with ourselves. Then we actually grow spiritually, and we grow consciously, and we learn how to love better.
Yeah, when you said you get up at 3:30 and you do spiritual practices, what does that look like? A lot of people hear that term and they're just kind of like, they think it just sounds like so otherworldly and mystical. Like, how would you do? Like, do you have a couple you describe that are kind of beneficial?
I did Tai Chi every day for 18 years. I studied with a Tai Chi master for several years. I trained in medical Qigong. I began meditating when I was 12, when my mother joined the Self-Realization Fellowship. I do various types of exercises. I can teach you one in just a second, which is very simple. Anyone can do. It's very powerful. I spend a lot of time in prayer. I give thanks for everything I have and all the blessings in my life. And I just sort of, take stock of how grateful for I am, to have the home I have, to have the children I have. I have 2 wives, so I'm blessed there.
Say what now?
Yeah, I have 2 wives.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'll be mature about it.
It's not a religious thing. It's just, I was married for 17 years to my first wife. I have a 45-year-old son from that marriage. And I realized I just wasn't cut out for monogamy. It just seemed very unnatural to me. And I really hated the idea that I couldn't express love to women that I felt a loving relationship with, because I was married and I had this Christian vows, till death do you part, but I did not feel that that was true to who I was. So after I went through my first divorce, I made a promise to myself that I would not ever get married again unless I could have an open relationship. And my rule was, as long as we're getting along together and we want to work through our problems together, then let's stay together. But if we don't want to be together, then we shouldn't be together. We should go out and find the people that are more appropriate for us at that time. And I meditated on that and asked Great Spirit for help. And I found exactly the perfect woman. I met her. I knew exactly who she was when I met her. Because I'd seen visions of her in my meditations. 4 days later, we were engaged, and I've been married to her for 28 years, and that's who just dropped me off.
Damn.
And I met, I was able to, through my open marriage, to explore and share love. But then I met a woman who is my second wife, Angie Check, who I have 2 kids with now, and Penny's their mother too. And Penny's rule from the very beginning was, look, you can have as many wives as you want, but I have these rules. Here's the rules. They have to cook, clean, contribute to the bottom line, and they cannot talk too much. Because my wife's all about business and the bottom line. She doesn't like a bunch of yakety-yak, gossipy women.
Man, what a blessing, dude.
Yeah, and so...
You tell her you're kind of thinking the same thing?
Well, when I was what I call young, dumb, and full of cum, and I was thinking about the sex all the time, and I thought, I'd like 7 wives or something like that. But, when you realize each person you're in an intimate relationship adds another complete level of complexity. And then you got to hope that they get along with each other.
Yeah.
But after probably 20 years of that type of living, I realized when I met Angie, who's a very powerful shaman, healer, she's got, both of my women are extremely smart. I mean, Penny's got a degree in biological anthropology from Cambridge University. She's got a degree in exercise and sports science from Colorado State. She's got a degree in business from Colorado State, and she's a pilot. And Angie's got a degree in energy medicine, a degree in biology, a degree in nutrition. And she's did a 3-year advanced training program in shamanism, and she's an expert in biogeometry, and she runs my nutrition and lifestyle coaching department.
Okay.
So between these girls, there's probably 6 or 7 degrees there. I'm the guy with the 9th grade education. So I figure if you're gonna spend time with a woman, you might as well find the most powerful, capable one you can.
Yeah.
Which a lot of guys do the opposite. They want a bimbo that they can control and use as a play toy. But I'm like, you're never going to get anything done that's meaningful in the world with that kind of relationship.
Yeah, and they'll kind of spring. It's never. It sounds cool at first, but then eventually, there's nothing to sustain a multi-year.
I used to be a race car driver, and my goal was always to have the most horsepower and the best handling car I could create.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I like women. The most horsepower and the best handling woman I can find. And so I have 2 very high-powered, very, very capable women. And we run, we're the primary people behind the educational development of the Chek Institute, which I founded in 1995. And we've had over 63,000 students come through our program. I have a 5-year academy. It's very serious, comprehensive education.
It is. I've looked into it before.
Yeah.
It's very, very comprehensive.
It's not a fluffy fly-by-night,
Yeah.
post. It's not a box of pizza. It's the real deal.
Yeah.
And so I need people around me that are in line with my values. And so, once I met Angie, I realized that this woman was so intelligent and so amazing and so incredible, and all I could ever imagine sexually. I'm like, okay, I've just met God. And so I just went to Penny and said, I've reached the point now where I feel like it's too complex for me to manage all these women, because I would have a beautiful partner in Sydney. I mean, I lived on the road for 25 years lecturing all over the world. So I had lovers in Sydney. I had lovers in Auckland. I had lovers in London, but every one of them has families and have friends and has needs. And Paul, will you help my dad? He's sick. Can I borrow some money? And I just felt like my life was being spread so thin that after a while, I felt like it was stopping me from really devoting enough time to Penny, who's the Buddha that allowed me to even have this joy. And so Angie was just such a complete and incredible human being. I just went to Penny. I said, and Penny knew Angie. I mean, Penny knows all these women. I've never kept anything from my wife. That's a great way to ruin your relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, women are so much smarter than men on average.
Yeah, especially with stuff like relationship stuff. You can't get away with anything.
No, they got
They'll
eyes.
know it.
They got radar that we don't even come close to. I tell people, men all the time, if you think you're tricking your wife, you're dumber than a sack of hammer handles. You're about to lose half your money and all your joy.
It's true. You can't lie. You might be able to pull the wool over once, maybe, but dude, they can look at you and they're like,
they know.
the fuck are you up to?
I've had so many professional athletes trying that come to me for help, and I'm like, the first thing you got to do is learn to tell the truth, or you're just gonna you're digging your own grave every day is what you're doing.
Yeah, especially lying is so bad for you. Just just having a lie in the back of your head.
Well, not only
destroys
that, you've got to disconnect yourself from your own heart to survive that.
Yeah,
and that's how you end your spiritual growth and development.
Yeah,
spiritually, they say the longest journey you'll ever take is from your head to your heart, and for a lot of people, it takes a lot of lifetimes to get there.
Yeah.
So my philosophy is don't do anything that disconnects your heart from your head, because only your heart can deliver justice to your head, and without your heart, you can easily convince yourself of all sorts of shit and become the devil while blaming everyone else for being the devil.
Yeah.
So I went to Penny and I said, look, I really love Angie. I think she'll really contribute to the family. She meets your criteria. Of course, Penny knew her because she's been around me for years and been to my training programs, and, she lectures at our institute. And Penny said, if that's what you want to do and you feel comfortable letting go of these other relationships, then I will support you, because I believe Angie will be a contributor to our family and to our mission. And so we did a 3-way marriage ceremony. First, we tested each other. We went through psychological testing to see how compatible we were.
What testing did you use? I'm just curious.
Myers-Briggs was
Okay.
one of them, and there's
Yeah.
another one we used. I don't remember the name of it. So we tested Angie and Penny and Angie, so the both ways.
Mhm.
And we tested me and Penny and me. We already knew that worked. And we tested me and Angie and me, and every one of them showed highly compatible.
Awesome.
And interestingly, the psychological profile for Angie and Penny were identical, but inverted. Angie was very high in intuition and low in mathematical logical, and Penny's very high in mathematical logical and low in intuition. So they were like mirrors of each other.
Whoa.
And Angie and Penny and I have been in a relationship for 13 years now, and those women have never had a single fight. I've never seen them like have what we would call a fight.
Have you ever had a double fight at once, like 2-on-1?
I've been outvoted, yes.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's why many of my students, especially young men, come to me. I want to have multiple partners like you do, and they think it's all about the sex. And I always tell them, you better learn to ride one horse really well before you try to ride two at once, because you will get hurt.
Yeah. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine.
It's if you want rapid spiritual growth, then just have two wives, because the bullshitting factor is zero. It's like, get ready to be pinned on the carpet. And when, I always say, every time you add a new woman to a chief's tent, his power is divided by that number of women.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you think you're in charge, but women run the world. Men just haven't figured it out yet.
Traditions are what the holidays are all about. This year, start a new tradition with Ibotta. Ibotta gives you cash back on all your purchases so you can keep those holiday traditions alive, no matter how old or new. Ibotta is a free app that lets you earn cash back every time you shop. You can earn on hundreds of items, from groceries to toys to tech. The average Ibotta user earns $256 per year. Think of how much extra holiday magic you can make this season with more room in your budget. I mean, I just would love to make more holiday magic with the Ibotta app. What the heck are you guys even talking about? With Ibotta, you can earn cash back that you can withdraw to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. Simply add offers in the app, upload your receipt, and voila, the money is yours. You can save on over 2,400 brands and shop at over 1,000 retailers, including your favorite grocery stores, Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. It's time you join the over 50 million users who use Ibotta to earn cash back every time they shop and keep the holiday magic alive. Come on, guys, don't let the holidays die. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code DRENCHED when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use code DRENCHED. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store and use code DRENCHED. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, so your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Think Justin Jefferson will get more than 83.5 yards next week? Lamar Jackson will pass more than 1.5 TDs, meaning touchdowns? Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. I mean, guys, what more do I love than real money daily fantasy platforms? Guys, come on now. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code DRENCHED to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code DRENCHED on the Prize Picks app to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Guys, please, I have a couple of shows, too. I got to tell you about these. If you live in Tysons, Virginia, that whole area, it's like around D.C., whatever. Capital One Hall, big theater show, second in my life. Please come. That would be awesome. It's actually a pretty large space, and I'd feel foolish if it were empty, but if it's got to be empty, so be it. I'd love for you guys to come if you can. That is on 11/15, Capital One Hall, Tysons, Virginia. And then also on the next day, I'll be in New York City on 11/16 at Town Hall as part of the New York Comedy Festival. So come to that too if you want to go to that. Also, and that's a big one, guys. This is the New York City Comedy Festival. And then a few weeks after that, I'll be in Irvine, California at the Irvine Improv. Guys, this is huge. This is going to be right around Thanksgiving. 11/29 to 11:30. I have 4 shows, 2 days, Irvine Improv. The place is fucking massive. Come on, Cali. You guys know I'm fucking SoCal. You guys know I'm fucking with the shit. Please come out there. All the tickets, you can get them on mattmccusker.com. There should be a link in the YouTube. I literally almost did this. Cut my fucking hands off. There should be a link in the YouTube description somewhere in there. Thank you, guys.
And actually, research shows that 65% of all the women spent in the world is spent by money.
Yeah.
I mean, spent by women.
Yeah, I've seen that before,
Yeah.
and I believe it.
So even though men may make more, it's the women that are actually moving the money.
Oh, big time.
So to conclude, what I'm saying is we have an amazing family experience. We're very productive. We all have the same mission, vision, and values. Angie and I have had 2 kids, and so they have 2 mothers, which is amazing.
It's awesome.
My son, Mana, bonded very strongly with Penny, interestingly, right from the beginning. He looks like Penny. Angie's Mexican, brown skin. Just you imagine a pretty little hot Mexican woman, and you got Angie. And Mana's blonde-haired, fair skin, blue-eyed, and Penny's blonde-haired, fair skin, and hazel eyes. But everyone sees Mana and thinks he's Penny's child. And our second one, Zoe, is exactly a carbon copy of mommy. She's like a hot, cute little Mexican mini mommy.
Yeah.
And she bonds very strongly with Mama. So I think it was Great Spirit's trick to get Penny inspired to be a mother, because Penny never really wanted to be a mother.
Okay.
So she fell in love with Mana and he fell in love with her. And so imagine being a kid with 2 mothers of that level of intelligence. You know, we have a 14-acre farm and we run a big business, and we have people from all over the world coming to us. We've had, you know, we travel, the kids have traveled all over the place because we have to teach all over the world. So I mean, when Mana was probably only 4 months old, he was already in England on seminar tours. So these kids are very worldly children. And we feed them the best food you can buy. We grow most of our food, and we buy from, organic farmers and free-range meat farmers and ranchers. And the kids go to a Waldorf school, so they're getting educated based on Steiner's system of education, which, based on my analysis, is hands down the best in the world. And so, I basically spent many, many years as a therapist looking at what causes people trouble, what gets them sick, what leads to cancer. And I found the number of people that have been married for a long time but didn't want to be in the marriage, but stayed in it because they thought God would burn them in hell if they broke their marriage vows or got a divorce, was so high. I learned very early in my now 40-year career that it's not a wise thing to do to stay married to somebody that you're not in love with and that you don't want to be with, because all you do is teach your children how to have a fucked up relationship. And that becomes problems for the rest of your life that you got to deal with as a parent. And so after my first marriage, I just made a promise to myself, I'm going to live true to my heart. And I know that there's women out there that want to live true to their heart too. And you'd be amazed when you're honest with women. They'll tell you yes or no. And I found it was no harder to find women that would agree to that than it was to find women that would go monogamous or that demanded monogamy.
Yeah.
But we just grew into this relationship, and well, we're 13 years in now. And like I said, I've got a 45-year-old son with a grandson from my first marriage. So I became a father for the second time at 54, and then my daughter came along a couple of years later. So here I am, 63, with 2 little ones and a big one and a grandson. But it took me a long time to learn how to be a father. I mean, I realized at 54, I'm actually only now ready to be a dad. My first son came when I just turned 18, and I didn't know how to be a father, and I didn't have a good example as a father. So to have reached that level of maturity and that much understanding of life, and then to be wise enough to choose really intelligent women. And Angie's an amazing mother. They're both amazing mothers. I mean, my kids are damn smart. They're surrounded by very intelligent people all the time. And so they eat great food and they live on top of a mountain on a beautiful farm. And, my daughter's doing amazing in gymnastics. My son's got the mind of an engineer. And we're watching kids grow in an environment that is like an organic farm.
Yeah.
They get a chance to get a lot of love and to really explore themselves. And I emulate to my students to live true to your heart and not fall into conventional ideas because, living in the consensus reality is like being a sheep in a herd. But if you actually start interviewing people to ask how many people are actually happy in their marriages, I've had patients come to me with serious health problems that have been married for 35 years. And I've said to them, when were you not happy in the marriage? I've literally had women crying their eyes out saying, Paul, to be honest with you, I knew I was in trouble the day I got married.
Yeah.
I said, well, why did you stay and have kids? Because I'm a Christian and I have marriage vows. And I said, so you think God wants you to live in a torturous relationship and raise kids in an environment where they realize that marriage is a painful and potentially ugly thing?
Yeah.
And so
real quick, to ask
that's,
you,
that's a problem.
I could see that. Do you think there is some redemptive fact to the process of learning to kind of relate to somebody over time where initially it might not feel great?
Oh, absolutely.
But
Yeah.
you're saying if it hits levels of just like soul deadedness and like going
Well,
through
when
the
you
motions.
get to the point where either you're not compatible with somebody or you're not willing to do the work to grow in relationship with that person. Like most people don't actually explore their values with someone else. So when you get confronted by things like a woman gets pregnant, but you don't want the child and you don't realize that there's one that's pro-abortion and one that's against abortion.
Yeah.
That's a barn burner of a problem to have. When you got a pandemic that comes and one's pro-vaccine and the other one says, don't do it, it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
And one wants to vaccinate the children, the other one doesn't. I've seen relationships completely destroyed. So if you don't have a deep enough level of love and commitment to work through the rigors and the challenges that life inevitably brings, you just set yourself up to live in hell.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making, if it's not dead clear, if you can't walk through hell with your partner and hold their hand, then you shouldn't be in the relationship.
I see what you're saying. If you're just going through the motions and
If you're just going through the motions, you're not living. You're already in flatland, and you'll probably need an addiction to get you through it.
Yeah.
You'll need to drink yourself through it, or drug yourself through it, or bury yourself in work, or become an exercise addict or something. And I've rehabilitated thousands of these people. I mean, look, I'm not a young guy. I have 40 years of clinical experience. I have seen exactly how this plays out over and over again, and it ain't pretty. And it's often for the wrong reasons. And the worst reason there is because of what other people will think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit what other people think. Like, my job is to be true to myself and true to the people I share relationships with, because without that, what have I got? If I fit into the crowd, but I'm living a life that's completely unappealing and unpleasing, that just takes the wind right out of your sails, and you just go half-mast through your life, and you'll never become good at anything.
Yeah.
To achieve mastery requires commitment and focus. And if you can't achieve mastery in your relationships, then you're not going to achieve mastery in your professional relationships either.
Yeah. Well, so what is the Spirit Gym? I know you started that up.
Spirit Gym is a holistic system of spiritual development that I develop based on all my years' experience. And I saw how much problem religions cause people. I could see the beauty in them, but I could see the traps in them, and I could see how it results in a lot of health problems and a lot of belief. I think beliefs are very dangerous because the day you believe something, you stop asking questions and your mind becomes closed. So I think, by definition, spirituality is a progressively expanded sense of connection to a greater and greater whole. But oftentimes when you're in a religion, you immediately identify yourself as this religion or that religion, and you are often taught or threatened that you should not look into or participate in other religions, for example. So you won't find Christians reading Buddhist literature, but there's a ton of great stuff in Buddhism that any Christian can use. And there's stuff in Christianity that a Buddhist can use. And there's stuff in Judaism that they could all use.
Yeah.
So once you're in a belief system, it's like being in a cult. And I've watched how it destroys people's lives and it keeps them very narrow-minded. And, you know, if you study this, you'll find something quite shocking. The most common cause of wars throughout history has been religious differences.
Yeah.
And if you look at Ken Wilber's new book, Radical Wholeness, he states right in there at least 3 times the number one cause of war is religious differences. I mean, well, if there is a God and God is love, then God's not intended to inspire war, death, and destruction. So that right there you see the problem that belief systems are like any ism. They pit you against people and you stop asking bigger questions. And as soon as you stop asking bigger questions, you stop growing mentally, you stop growing emotionally, and you halt your spiritual growth. Therefore, you see, if it's like being a racist. If you're a white supremacist, then you never get the joy of knowing the beauty of black people. You never, you might not even eat their food or listen to their music.
Yeah.
But if you think, okay, how many of us love food from around the world? I like Chinese food. I like Japanese food. I like Jamaican food, man. I like Brazilian food. And I like all their music too. And I love their beautiful women. So if someone said, I'm practicing such and such a religion, or I have such and such a racial bias, you've just cut 2/3 of my heart out.
Yeah.
You've just turned me into a robot, into somebody else's play toy, into somebody who's got such narrow vision that they will never actually see the beauty of God. They will never see it, even though they're walking around in it and wearing it. And that is really to be a blind man. So Spirit Gym is really a system I built that teaches you how to analyze your own story so that you can ask yourself, is the story that I'm empowering each day fulfilling to me? And if it's not, what is my dream? And how do I create a story for myself that's dream affirmative and life affirmative? And how do I live in such a way that I embrace the truth of good, the truth of beauty, and the truth of life, and accept the challenges of life as growth opportunities so I don't just drug myself, or put my head in the sand. And so I built a system based on principles. So the first principle is getting clear on what the word God means. Next is understanding how the universe is created based on metaphysical concepts and on the concepts of science, cosmology, and quantum physics. The next principle is the next principle is myth, which is the science and history and the understanding of what a myth is. Myth means story. So once you understand why myths have been created by tribes throughout antiquity and what the function of a myth is, then you know what your myth or your story has to include, or you're running blind, right? I could give you a whole description of myth and what it has to include, but it would take some time. So once we understand what God means by definition, what being is, what is existence itself, why is it here? Then we go to myth and we understand the importance of being clear on our story so we're congruent with our dream and we don't create problems for ourselves by living out a story that isn't even our own. Most people don't even know their own story. They're just living out their mother's ideas, their church's ideas, or their ism without really thinking, is this working for me? And just wondering why they feel like shit. They're tired all the time and they got to drink alcohol to numb themselves from their ism. So then we deal with the principle of the two, which is duality, which is what it takes to have a mind. You have to have a duality. It has to be a subject, me, you, the object. You're the object of my awareness right now, but it's the subject in me watching. If you're in a loving relationship, one's the lover, one's the beloved. So one's the lover, one's the beloved. So if this is a person, I, the lover, am loving the beloved. So whenever you have a duality, you have the prerequisites for love. There always has to be a lover and a beloved. And the prerequisite, love is the basis of relationship. Love is the code word that holds everything together in the whole universe, even an atom. Love really just means relationship. And so you can't have life without relationship, and you can't have a mind without relationship. To have a mind, you have to have 2 points of sentience that exchange energy and information. A computer is not a mind. It's an information processor because it doesn't know what you're putting through it. It doesn't care if you build an atomic bomb to kill people or you come up with the most amazing cure for a disease. The computer won't know the difference. So that's an information processor. That's not a mind. A mind is actually sentient, and it processes energy and information with the intention of accomplishing an objective that something is sentient of, being you in this case, or me. So once you get to the position, the principle of two, you're understanding what is the true nature of a duality and why do we have to have a duality and how do you manage dualities? Like how do you use duality in your favor as opposed to creating opposition, me against you or white against black or this religion against that religion, because that's just a low level of consciousness. The principle of three is the Holy Trinity, which explains how God or that which is unknowable manifests itself as being or life or existence. And so once we understand that process, we can say, this is the same principles we use to create our dreams. This is how we dream our house into existence, save the money, buy the land. This is how we dream our ideal partner into our life. Like I did. I meditated 1.5 years after enough years of girlfriends that drove me crazy. And I realized, these girls, they don't know how to handle a guy like me that's very mission oriented. So I got clear what I needed in a partner. And I also got clear what I would give her.
Yeah.
So I just thank Great Spirit every day for this amazing woman and read off the qualities that I want, read what I was willing to give. Had a vision of her after 1.5 years meditating. 5 days later, she showed up in one of my classes. As soon as I saw her, it literally felt like electricity running through my body. I went, oh my God, there she is. I am stunned and amazed that she's actually here. 4 days later, we were engaged, and that was 28 years of marriage ago.
Damn.
Right. So I've done this many, many times. We wanted our dream home and our dream property. It took us 5 years, but we mapped it all out. I went into meditation with Angie, and we channeled the vision of our home, drew it. When we found the home, our map was exactly the map of the property. We said the prayer every morning. We gave thanks for the home. We kept looking and looking until we found it. And when we found it, we knew it.
Wow.
And there it was. And interestingly, every year I do a mandala, which is a diagram in a circle to symbolize my year. So I go into meditation and I ask my soul to give me the vision of what symbolizes my year. And that year, I saw the Native American Indian sun face, which is a circle of feathers with the Indian sun face in the middle, which if you saw the Native American Indian sun face, you know exactly what it looks like. The trippiest thing, the girls were out looking for houses, and this one wasn't even on the list to go look at, but as they were getting on the freeway to come home, it said open house, closes such and such a date, which was that day. So they were just closing it and they were going to put it on an auction. And the girls went, and when they pulled up to the gate of the big opening of the property is a big metal gate because it's a big estate. On the front of the gate was a 6-foot circular mandala with exactly what I had painted.
Whoa.
And they both stopped and were stunned and took a picture and said, Paul, you're not going to believe what is on the gate to this property. And it turned out to be, I'm a remote viewer as well. So for 3 months before they found the house, in my meditations, I started seeing this property and this land. So I said to my soul, is this our new home? My soul said, yes, it is. I said, my God, it's so damn big. It looks like a hotel. I said, you sure that's we're going to be where we're going to live? My soul said, yes, you're going to be running your businesses there. You're going to need plenty of space. You're going to have a lot of people coming in and out of there. And so I used my skills as a remote viewer. I walked through the house. I looked at the property. So when the girls found it and they were walking the property, they called me and told me about the gate. And they said, you've got to see this property. It's going to blow your mind. It's exactly what we've been looking for. It's everything we wrote down. And I said, when you pulled up to the front of the house, was there a big metal gate? Yeah, that's the one I saw your mandala on. Is there a pond on the right side of the driveway when you pulled in? Yes. When you walk in the front door, does it have really high ceilings with which look Mediterranean-style wooden fans up in the top of the ceilings? They said, exactly. I said, if you walk through the house to the back, is the swimming pool back there? Yes. If you go to the edge of the swimming pool, is it really steep, almost like a cliff? down into the property. They said, Paul, exactly. I said, if you walk out the back of the house, is there a big building that would hold my gym and our classroom? They said, yes. I said, does it have a guest house? They said, yes. I said, that's the place I've been seeing for 3 months.
What?
Yep. And it was on the market 2 years earlier for $4 million.
Uh-huh.
And when I found out that it was going into auction, my soul said, do not bid, because there's very few people that can afford the maintenance on a place like that.
Yeah.
And they're probably not going to get a bid on it. Wait, and they'll call you. Because we had gone there and we'd fill out the registration, and my Angie and Penny were scared to death. They said, Paul, are you sure if we lose this house, that's it. We got to keep looking. We've been looking for 5 years. I said, my soul's never misled me. Sure enough, the next morning, our real estate agent called us at like 8 o'clock in the morning. She said, you were right, Paul. Nobody bid on the house. Now's your chance. Not even 2 hours later, the real estate agent for the house called us. So I bid 1.8, and they wrote back and counterbid me 1.925. So
Whoa.
the land is worth that much.
Damn. They had padded it. I mean, I guess they could sell for whatever they want, but they were like, yeah, fine.
It wasn't they padded. If you saw this place, it's worth $4
million.
million.
That makes
It's
sense.
just that it's 15,000 square feet of buildings. It's 14 acres of land. It's
Damn.
pump systems. I mean, it's a lot to manage. I mean,
Yeah.
it cost me a lot of money
And there's probably less and less people
to
inclined to
manage
do all that.
it. You know, I have to have a full-time gardener and handyman.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big place, but it's exactly because we wanted to consolidate all of our business into one location, so we didn't have to keep driving all over the place. Angie had her own business that was successful. She owned a nutrition store and ran a personal training business. I had the institute. I had a house that I used for seeing all my clients with a big gym in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we consolidated all of our work into one place. So now our institute courses are run there. I see my clients there. My office is in the guest house. Penny's office is in the guest house.
That's awesome.
So we basically are spending far less money than we were for all these 3 places. Now we only have 1 gym instead of 3. Now we only have 1 location clients need to come, and everybody absolutely loves it there. It's stunningly beautiful. But the point is, this is, using your mind and using your heart to manifest. In the same way I brought Penny into my life through manifestation, I brought my home into my life, and I've done this over and over again. That's what I teach. That's what real spiritual development's about, is learning to work with source energy and consciousness instead of walking around just hoping all the time.
So that's the difference. Was when people hear manifesting, they really do, I think of like, or it comes to my mind that it sounds like bullshit, where you're just like, so I'm just going to imagine a house is going to come, but you seem like it's more intentional of like a daily practice of like imagining.
It's not just imagining. As the Quakers say, pray and move your feet.
Yeah.
Everybody prays, but they forget to move their feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So we looked at houses for 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. And each time we like that feature, but there's a highway right next to the house, or, we like this big living room. And so as we were doing it, we were saying, okay, we want to write that on our dream. We had a big poster we made on we call it the vision board. And every morning we would do a prayer, all 3 of us. And I would vaporize some tobacco and herbs, and I'd blow smoke into it, which is a sacred practice to energize it with our consciousness. And, so we actually poured our intention into it. If you think of God as unconditional love, that's pure potential. There's no condition there.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is always yes from source. God says yes to being an idiot, and God says yes to being a wise man. Mm-hmm. Obviously, look around.
Yeah.
Okay? So if God is unconditional love, then you must have an intention to create the movement of potential into actuation, and the flow of that energy and information is what we call spirit. So spirit is the flow of energy and information. What people don't realize is you're constantly moving energy and information into potential from spirit, but most people are doing it unconsciously, which is almost always based on what they don't want. Most people live by their fears, not by their dreams. And I tell people, fear never makes a good seeing eye dog. It's just not, because you will always see what you're looking for. The ancients had an important saying, you bring forth that which you gaze upon. So if you walk into a room and you're always looking for something bad, you'll see it.
Yeah.
If you walk into the room and you're looking for the beauty or you're looking for the fun, you'll find it, right? Most people don't have enough training to watch their own mind to see what it's creating all the time. And so that's what Spirit Gym's all about. It's learning how to use tried and tested principles from spiritual masters, from experts in the science of mind, from experts in psychology, from quantum physics, from metaphysics. Basically, I spent my whole life studying and looked at everything that I could learn that's relevant to how to live a life that's true to your heart and being honest in your relationships and creating the life you want and doing the work that you want to do in life so that you can make money because you're doing something you love to do and achieving mastery. And I put it into an education system and I mentor these people so they get the same kind of coaching that I do with my one-on-one clients, except I coach them in a group. And there's about 130 hours of online training that I built to take them through all these principles. And each week I meet with them and I give them a 1-hour presentation on something that's important for them to know. And then I open the floor for questions on their personal life, their personal challenges, or anything they want help with as they're working through the lessons. And I've watched people just transform right in front of my eyes. I've seen depressed people become inspired and motivated. I've seen sick people get healthy. I've seen sad people get happy.
Yeah.
And it's not a surprise to me because I've been a therapist for 40 years. I mean, I've studied this inside out and backwards, and I've had to deal with my own challenges just like everybody else. And so, I really felt it was time in my career to stop spending my time working with people one-on-one because the world's in such dangerous state right now that I realized we can't wait for a top-down rescue. I don't think Jesus is coming back. They nailed him to a tree the first time. He's not stupid. I don't think.
Well, here's a question for you, and I think I kind of dig everything you're saying. I feel like, well, I guess it's a statement and then a question. I feel like God has become a taboo. It's a modern taboo. You can talk about sex, you can talk about whatever you want. If you bring up God, a lot of people get kind of like, "Where are you going with this?" Like, relax, man. Maybe it always was because if you brought up the wrong religion, people would spaz.
Everybody's conception of God is unique to themselves, and because you have all this religious division, if you're a Christian talking about God to a Muslim, then they're going to immediately think you're against them.
Yeah, or an atheist.
Or an atheist, right?
Yeah.
But remember.
Well, here's my question.
I want to just give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
You use that word atheist.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's something Carl Jung said that's very important to hear. Something must first be real before it can be rejected. Meditate on that.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
It's true.
Yeah.
There's no atheist in a foxhole.
Yeah.
I'm a soldier. Trust me.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that as well. And that's why I think there's something, my question is, how necessary do you think it is for psychologically to have a spiritually oriented framework to work in if you want to kind of gain some sort of, self-mastery or peace of mind versus just kind of what I feel like might be kind of sanitized,
I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I've known people that are very masterful at a lot of things that are atheists, materialists, or even my wife Penny is agnostic.
Okay.
My wife's a scientist. She did a lot of extensive research in university. She's a very scientific, very intelligent. She's a pilot. The woman that just dropped me off is a genius.
Yeah.
And I'm a guy that knows intelligent people and worked with some of the most rich and smart people on this planet. My wife is a genius. And she says, I'm happy that you love God, but God is not important to me because I can't prove the existence or non-existence of God. And she says, I've got important things to handle. Like, how are we going to pay the bills this month? And how do I manage all these employees and take care of these kids and make sure this farm is handled? She says, I will find out if God's real when I die, and that's fine with me. But in the meantime, I'm going to do my best to live a meaningful life and love as fully as I can because that's who I am. I don't need someone to take me to church to do what's inherently natural to me.
Okay. So that's interesting. So you really don't think it's as crucial. I guess it's all person to person.
No, I think it's individual. The difference is religion is typically a set of beliefs that's closed. It's an ideology. It's a belief system. By definition, all belief systems are closed. Spirituality is an open exploration for the truth. So that's why I say spirituality is a progressive expansion of your sense of wholeness, to your connection to what makes you feel whole and what you are. So for example, spirituality, if you want a simple model, progresses from I-oriented consciousness. It's all about what I want, what I need, like a child. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Then you grow up to realize that you can't do anything meaningful in the world without relationships. So your consciousness evolves to we. And so instead of being self-centered, now you become we-centered. You say, okay, I can't just think of myself. I got to think about my wife and her needs, my boss, my friends, my coworkers, my teammates. Then all of a sudden you realize you couldn't be here without the food that feeds you, the water that hydrates you, the air you breathe. And you realize the car you drive is made by someone on the other side of the world. The computer you're using was made by someone on the other side of the world. And so you finally wake up to the fact that it takes the whole world to support all of us. And so now your sense of self and wholeness grows to embrace the whole world because you realize everybody's meaningful. Everybody's contributing to each other. And so you wouldn't buy into a belief system that was my group against your group because you realize none of us can get by without each other. Okay. So then you become world-centric. Well, then you progressively expand your consciousness and you say, wait a minute, could the earth be here without the sun? And could we survive without? No. What would happen if there was no moon to move the tides of the ocean? We'd all die. So all of a sudden you realize, wow, I was an earth-centered person, but now I've got to be a solar system-centered person. But then you realize, oh my God, the solar system's part of a galaxy and it couldn't be here without a galaxy. Then all of a sudden you realize you're part of a galactic family. You go, wait a minute, the galaxy is part of the universe. So now you reach what's called cosmic consciousness, and you realize that all of it is a dance. All of it is a being that's alive. All of it is something so magical and so mysterious that all you can do is stand there and go, ah, my God, it took the entire universe to create me. And I could give you the physics of the fact that if we scientifically analyze even the minerals and the elements in your body, I can prove to you scientifically that it took the entire universe to make you. And it's been done many times.
How? How do they do that?
Simple. You take the elements of the periodic table that are in your body, and you say, okay, where did that come from? Well, that came from the sun. That came from Mars. Okay, well, how did they get into the sun? Well, other stars exploded and collapsed into a sun.
Damn.
Through black hole, whatever model you want to use. And so you keep playing that game. So where'd that come from? It ends up reaching to the end of the universe.
It's crazy.
So what you realize, even scientifically, is it takes an entire universe to make each one of us. And that's just scientific fact. I don't care if you believe in God or not. I can sit you down and show you the research on it. And so, okay, if you're a scientist, here's proof. It took the whole universe to make you.
Yeah.
So what do you want to worship? Just one book?
Yeah.
I'm like, I think we can do better than that.
Yeah. So that you're saying that you're kind of, I guess, provide a modern roadmap for people trying to gain the benefits of a spiritual system without the pitfalls and the downfalls of like organized religion.
I'm simply saying, let's be honest with each other. Let's be rational. Let's be logical. Let's be scientific. And let's open ourselves to the mystery of the heart and ask honest questions. Who are we? What are we? How did we get here? What does it take to sustain us? And how many absolute mysteries are involved? I mean, science shows that if the conditions of the initial universe were even 1/100% different, we would not be alive.
That's crazy.
Right? When you look at the science behind this thing, there's, you either think everything's an accident and we're just lucky, which would be like standing next to a pile of rocks and hoping a Rolex watch jumped out, which would be a materialist.
Yeah.
Or you say there's some kind of intelligence behind this thing. And the biggest form of intelligence that we can come up with is a thing called God, because we don't have another name to give it. It just means something so wild I can't even put a name on it. So we'll just call it God. By definition, God means that for which there is no other. By definition, God is the only being that can create and sustain itself. None of us can do that, right? It takes a God to create and sustain itself. So when you really understand what the word God means, that's capital G, capital O, capital D. capital G, little o, little d in Spiritism means the highest power of any belief system. This is why you've got a Christian God, a Muslim God, a this God, or that God. They war like hell with each other. Well, I mean, what do you call someone that's at war with themselves? Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the God I'm talking about, that for which there is no other, is not at war with itself. Look up in the stars at night. You see nothing but harmony and beauty.
Yeah.
It's when you're lost and confused down here and you worship a God that'll burn you in hell and has all these rules and regulations, you realize, okay, we need to reevaluate our idea about God. So that's the difference between religion and spirituality. Religion is based on belief systems that are closed, and spirituality says, I'm on an open quest to explore what it is that creates me and how I can have a healthy relationship with it and love and respect the fact that everything that's here was created by the same intelligence and I'm part of it. So why not love and respect it? I love the Sufis are the mystics of Islam. If you really want to understand religion, you always got to go to the mystics because they're the ones that broke out of the dogma and had their own religious experience. But the Sufis, the Sufi mystics say, there is no God but God. I worship everything and everyone. That is somebody that understands what God means. I got to go pee.
We'll do like a 10-minute wrap up. And I do have one more question for you.
Go
So
for it, baby.
Are you, Josh, you recording? All right. So, sorry, we had to take a pee break. My question is, and I think this kind of applies to religion, somehow organic farming, it all kind of ties together, where I feel like the reflex for kind of these like very restrictive religions and all this stuff, and even like kind of this like war with like weeds in the soil through like pesticides. It makes sense from like, if you think about our escape from nature, which was like a nightmare to live in the jungle, be getting mauled alive. Like you going back way, 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 way. That's the conception I have of it. It was terrifying.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go talk to native cultures, it seems terrifying, but that was home for them. You see, if you go back to the point where we were living out in nature, we didn't see the animals out there as our enemies. We saw them as our family, and we had respect for grizzly bears. We had respect for poisonous snakes. We saw everything in nature as a being with its own intelligence. And so if you study native cultures, you'll see they studied these animals. They learned things like tool making from crows. I don't know if you know this, but crows have a brain that's as big as ours for body size, if not bigger. They have a language of over 400 words, and they have advanced tool making skills. And most people have no idea.
Yeah, I knew they could crack nuts. I didn't know.
Oh, no, they can. I've seen film of crows hand making tools that are very complex. They can make tools more complex than chimpanzees can.
Damn.
And they've got a language of between 400 and 500 words. Okay, that's pretty impressive. But the point is, if you were living out there with them, you would learn about how spiders weave things. You would learn about how birds put nests together. You would learn how bears fish. I mean, if you actually were out there in nature, you'd realize that each of these beings has a level of intelligence and is doing something in nature that is important. There is no accidental beings out there. So if you live in reverence and you realize that taking more than is necessary is a threat to the existence of another being, then you don't just go rape all the bees for honey and steal all the eggs, because then you wipe out your own survival system. So those people did not have this us against nature. They were nature.
Yeah.
And it's only as the industrial age began to come on that we begun to shift our orientation to man against nature, which is largely we want more space to do what we want to do, right? And we want to take these people over so we can do what we want to do. So you'll see that as our technology and our tools got more and more advanced and we got more and more scientific, we started getting more and more disrespectful to what creates harmony in nature and more I-oriented, more what do I want? Not how does that affect the rivers? How does that affect the oceans? I mean, so if you take that to now and say, well, look what we got. We got a bunch of germophobic people that are scared of the dirt, that poison everything they eat, that wash their hands with antibacterial soaps, that have wiped out their microbiomes, that have brains that are collapsing, that have kids that are sick. that have constantly got to take pills, who are at war with each other, who have an organization called the CIA that says our work will be done when no one knows what the truth is. Well, when your government has an agency whose mission it is to make sure nobody knows what the truth, you have to ask yourself, well, we've gotten more or less intelligent?
Yeah.
Have we evolved or are we devolving? When we don't know the principles of nature and we're seeding the eyes with the skies with aluminum and barium and trying to control the sun, and we're making fake global warming by billionaires to make the rich rich and the poor more poor. I mean, we've gotten so far from the truth of what life is and what it's all about that it's going to, and it is costing us dearly. The United States last year spent $3 trillion to manage diabetes. That's one illness.
Damn.
One illness. The United States defense budget, which is the most expensive in the world, is $1.9 trillion. We're spending $3 trillion a year to manage diabetes, which is a problem of eating food that is not high quality, that has no nutrition, and eating too much sugar, which is highly addictive. Sugar has been shown by Candace Pert to be as addictive as morphine and heroin, and it's laced in everything. It's in bacon, it's in meat. We've gotten to a level of trickery in business and in politics to the point that we can't trust each other anymore. How much money is being spent to turn our iPhones into spy devices, to turn our televisions into spy devices, to turn refrigerators and vacuums into spy devices. The NSA, Edward Snowden showed us the NSA has been collecting information on every one of us all the time. Like, we've actually got an autoimmune disorder, right? We've got enough nuclear weapons to destroy the planet 179 times over. So we've become so afraid of each other that we're actually spending all our time, energy, and money to defend ourselves against each other while destroying the very support systems that keep us alive. So you have to ask yourself, who had it better, the natives or us?
Yeah.
Natives thought 7 generations ahead. As a general rule of thumb, native societies thought, if we do this, will it enhance or diminish the next 7 generations of our people?
Yeah, we don't do that.
We've got attention spans of about 3 minutes, and we don't think for 2 seconds about what's going to happen to our kids, or we would actually start paying attention to what we're feeding them and the fact that our education systems are absolute trash, and that we're putting pornography in the libraries for kids that are 3 and 3rd grade.
Yeah, they're doing that?
Oh, hell, all over the world. The globalists are absolutely dangerous as hell.
Yeah, that's the one thing I never understood, why we don't have physical education first thing in the morning at every school. It should be every kid should like run around for like an hour, burn off energy.
You realize there's people all over the world that are confused as to what a woman is.
Yeah, true. That's another problem.
Like we have used science to validate every drug that's killed 20, 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000 people, only to have it taken off the market. But it was all scientifically validated. So we've turned science into a corporate prostitution ring.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, if you really ask the question, was it that dangerous to live in nature when we had respect for nature and we lived in harmony with nature? Or is it that dangerous to live today where we're destroying nature and each other and call ourselves scientifically advanced? Well, as Steiner says, for every advance you make in science, you must make 3 advances in morality, or you will destroy yourself. Well, ask yourself, from the time we were living in nature to the time to where we're at now, how many advances have we made in science, and how many advances have we made in morality?
I'd say like 3 morality, probably like a bazillion in science.
Yes. And so here we all are.
We're
watching each other all over the world destroy each other and calling ourselves Christians.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Well, God damn it, dude. That sums it up pretty well. I'll have to have you on again. I have like a million more questions.
I am in a comedy store right now.
No, that's phenomenal, man. Thank you so much. Do you have anything you want to like? I mean, obviously Spirit Gym.
MySpiritGym.com if you're interested in my mentorship program. CHEKinstitute.com if you want to see my education and all the online courses I have for various people. My How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy book can be bought on Amazon. It can be bought at the CHEK Institute. Our Holistic Lifestyle Coach Level 1 training program teaches you all the principles on how to eat, move, and be healthy, how to apply them in your life. So it's a public access program. And for those that want a career in holistic lifestyle coaching to teach other people how to get healthy and not spend all their money on managing diabetes and things like that, you would go to Holistic Lifestyle Coach Level 2, which is a professional training program. So it's like a career. And then it goes from there. The Czech Academy can be explored there. That's our 5-year academy program, which is a mix of online training and hands-on training. And it's multidisciplinary. So we have medical doctors, chiropractors, osteopaths, nurses, acupuncturists, strength coaches, personal trainers, massage therapists, and people just changing professions. It's a fully complete system of education. My YouTube channel, where I have about 1,200 videos I've done for public service on almost everything, which I think you've seen is.
Yeah, that's how I found you, just watching those.
Right. So it's youtube.com/Paul, CHEK live, Paul Chek live. So there's tons I put on. That's where I do my public service work and say, look, if you've got plantar fasciitis here, this will help you. If you want to know how to get yourself healthy, do this. I've poured thousands of hours into doing that for the public. So those that can't afford me or want to get a taste before they spend money can go to YouTube. And my podcast is Spirit Gym with Paul Chek.
Okay.
And there's over 300 episodes with the greatest minds I can find all over the world. Scientists, doctors, metaphysical experts, religious experts, health experts, you name it. I go for the brains and the great ones that have good results and I believe are worth listening to, and I interview them, and I do comprehensive long-form interviews. And for those that want the extended play, they can be a member of the podcast. So you can go to paulchek.com, sign up for the podcast membership. I think it's less than $8 a month. And so I do the public portion of the podcast is usually somewhere between 1 and 2 hours, depending on the length of the guest, the length of the topic. And then the second half is for the members, where we do what's called the deeper dive.
Gotcha.
So I've got a lot of stuff out there. I've written 11 books, and I'm just now finishing a series of 15 volumes called Welcome to Spirit Gym, which is about 3,000 pages in total.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's taken me 4.5 years of hard work to build this program, and I started developing it 10 years ago because I saw the world was in deep trouble and it needed to understand some of the things we just talked about today.
Well, dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate what you're doing. When I started watching back in the day, I was like, oh, it's nice this guy's out here.
Yeah.
Somebody gives a shit about stuff.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Great questions, by the way.
Thank you, man.